welcome to the final episode of Banquet of the Golden Witch. I am Anyo, you're the monster of fire, and... how's the audio? I can't see. He turns up. Oh, and how do I look? How do I look? How do I look? How do I look? Do I look like a certain somebody? Do I look like a certain somebody? This is what happens when you have no artistic skills, no money to commission art. I kind of like it though. I kind of like it though. It looks weird and messy, and I think that kind of fits for the thing I'm trying to do. Yeah. So, I don't know. I think it's kind of cool. But yes, this is gonna be the final episode. Final chapter, the final piece of Umineko chapter 3. And this is gonna be a fun one. I love this. I love how this one concludes. It's really good, really good. Sorry, excuse me. Yeah, but I hope everybody had a good day, good day, good day. No bad days. We don't like those bad days. We flush them out. We curse them. We step on them, we slit their throats and gouge out their eyes. We don't like bad days. Yeah, I didn't really do that much today. Just had to go out, do a few errands for a little bit, and that was good. Then got home, watched the one episode of Daredevil. Didn't fully catch up. Then I watched one episode of the Friday the 13th series. That's the original one that came out in '87, and it's okay so far. It's okay. I mean, the audio, not the audio quality, the video quality is absolute garbage. I'm trying to scoot the chair up. The video quality is absolute garbage, but I'm liking the storyline so far. I'm liking the characters and all that. The only thing is kind of, yeah, is that the fact that it has no connection to any of the old movies, which would be 1 through 6, I think? Yeah, because 87... Actually, no, it should be 1 through 7 at this point. I'm not sure why they couldn't do Jason. Frank Mancuso Jr. was one of the main producers. And he was one of the main producers on all of the Friday the 13th movies. Till they sold Jason to New Line Cinema. Which when we got Jason Goes to Hell, Jason X, Freddy vs. Jason, and so on and so on. But yeah, that's nothing really about Umineko. Let's just start the show. Oh. The last verse. Where's the mouse? There it is. So last time we were... oh, wrong button. So last time we were here, we were facing off against Ava Beatrice. We pulled her into the, I guess, the tea parlor room, or where this realm is supposed to be called, to begin our logic battle. And so far, Battler is dominating her. Most because she doesn't fully understand the rules as so far. But that is about to change. That is about to change, baby! I see. Yes, Barrage Coordinator! I love this beat. I see. I'm finally starting to get that knack of it. I won't let you have things your own way anymore. This time, let me take the initiative. It's your turn. Just one audio down real quick. Reconstruct the 4th through the 6th twilights. Pick out Ushimiya Kire. For now, let me return to the murders of Rudolph, Kirie, and Hideyoshi during the 4th through 6th twilights. What is she thinking? What? Why would she return once more to a situation where she lost? I see. This is unusual attack, and one you do not use. Be careful. At the time, the survivors were barricaded in the guest house. They didn't have food, but out of concern for their safety, they were at least prepared to go without eating until the next day. However, in the end, 3 of them went out for food. That's right. In the end, 3 people went outside to get food. It's the pain. So I'll add something in red and say it. Kyrie didn't think that they needed food. Just going without food for about a day wouldn't kill them. She claimed that they should not leave the guest house. And yet, she herself suggested that they leave the guest house to get food. Isn't that a contradiction? Uh-oh. Yes. Yes. A spectacular contradiction. A contradiction exists in Kyrie's pattern of behavior. That contradiction was created by me with Chick. In other words, I controlled Kyrie using magic and made her say that to lure the sacrifices outside. What ridiculous! There's no way that kind of magic exists. It's a devil's proof, right? Just because you don't know about that magic doesn't deny its existence. And I don't bear the responsibility of acting out that magic for you. And yet, you have even less room to counter this argument. I wonder if it's okay to fight this way. Yes. It is a truly spectacular move. Butler-sama, response, if you please. That weird strategy she's taking. So, just with this, she has placed a piece attacking Ushime Kyrie pattern of behavior. As has already been explained, Kyrie's pattern of behavior has had her saying that they should not go outside or head to the mansion in order to get food. And yet, she herself took the initiative, taking the contradictory action of going out to get food. Unless you can explain this contradiction, she'll use this violent move to claim that magic was the cause. Well, that's probably what Kyrie-san thought in the beginning, but she probably thought through a few things midway, then changed her mind and decided that food really was necessary. It'd be bad if things got south. We were so hungry that we had no energy. And, well, she is claiming that this change of heart was due to magic. In short, well, it might be extremely difficult. You must explain the reason for Kyrie's change of heart. What are you saying? You're talking about the inside of Kyrie-san's head, right? Can I also summon Kyrie-san's ghost and question her? Beto, can't you call Kyrie-san here or something? She cannot. That is a move permitted only to the witch side. Sorry. She was probably thinking of us kids when on the whole thought that food was necessary, and you must present your claim through objective means. You'll need to concrete proof that Kirei changed her mind and decided that food really was necessary for some specific reason. For example, if someone heard her say that, or if it was written down somewhere. Too bad. The reason she changed her mind was not passed on to anyone, nor was it written down. Therefore, we can only speculate as to what was inside Kirei's mind. So it's impossible to explain. You don't have a single counter to my move. Isn't your turn to resign now? It is possible to hypothesize endlessly as to the reason behind her change of heart. And it is impossible to crush all those endless possibilities. A despicable, spectacular move. Butler would have a method of counter. It could probably only be that move. What move is that? Well, I wonder what kind of move it could be. I have a feeling that it was Milady's specialty, so I cannot remember. Quit being stingy and tell me! Beatrice. No answers will be given to those who stop thinking for themselves. Think in your own way. I want to turn your sign right now. And I'll corner you even more with the red. Until the last instant before she died, Kirei's behavior pattern of not to get food equal not going to the mansion was maintained. And yet, she took the initiative and headed towards the mansion. She was pushing the cart ready to carry food. Why that contradiction? I wonder why. Yeah, she's right. Because I control her with magic. This is proof that my magic exists and that I am a witch. Shut the hell up. Are you saying that she never even changed her mind? Not the whole time until she died. Kirei-san thought we don't need food? And we won't go to the mansion? Then why did she step forward herself and say that they should go to get food and go to the mansion? You're saying that Kirei-san was being controlled with magic? That's stupid! How should I break through this magic? If only Kirei were here and just told us the reason behind her change of heart. No, I've already been told and read that she never even changed her mind. What should I do? There's no move that the human side can counter with. The more I learn about this game, the more advantages the rules seem for the witch, right? Even lost in lots of areas, if I can win in just one, that alone can display the existence of a witch. In other words, Battler-kun has no way of denying witches other than a complete victory. How truly funny that even though you thought you could corner me and call me Eva, it's all been spun around by nothing more than the inside your respected Kirei-san's head, right? Eva? I mean, I love Aunt Eva. I hate Eva Beatrice. Just do it. Resign. If only you just accept it. If only you just lose. Is it possible for a human to prove? Can't do anything but guess what the dead were thinking when they acted. Furthermore, I can't deny the magic based on conjecture alone. To break through it, I need objective proof as to why Kirei-san had changed her heart. But, damn it, it's been said in red that no proof exists as to why she changed her mind and wanted food. What should I do? Butler-sama. Is this your resignation? Wait, does he resign? Does he resign right here? Not going to get food equals not going to the mansion. But then how should I understand Kirei-san's thoughts which actually do contradict each other? You can't understand? It's impossible to understand and impossible to interpret. That darkness is all of the witch. Come on, it's useless to think so. We'll quit, okay? You just can't deny witches. After all, I exist right here. I am the Golden Witch. I stole that name from the former witch over there. You can't deny that I am Beatrice. Get all that, boy. You have no right to use that name. And yet, I can't think of a move to deny it. Battler could no longer conquer this witch, who was laughing insanely in triumph. He didn't want to give up, but no move appeared. He ground his teeth, making fists with both hands. But even so, he couldn't think of a brilliant counterattack. Butler-sama, your time limit is over. So, will you resign? Alright, does he do it? Does he do it? Does he do it? Go on, go on, go on! The human side has no move in response. It will resign. Wait! There is a counter. What? What did you say? Huh? What kind of move could possibly exist, Predecessor-sama? Won't you tell me what kind of move could deny this magic of Beatrice? You can't. It's impossible. If the proposition that not going to get food equals not going to the mansion cannot be explained by itself, I will explain it with the contrapositive. In short, you can also explain it with she still went to the mansion. Equal, she had a goal other than food. Really? Somewhere's revving their car up. Okay, so That's a big hint. That is a big hint to the overall mystery of the whole series. If she did not go to the mansion to get food, that must equal she had a goal other than food. This is less my specialty. Hempel's raven. Then it is Battler's specialty. Chessboard thinking. If it was impossible for Kirie to have gone to the mansion with food as a goal, then we can also only explain it by saying she had another reason that got her to go outside despite that. In other words, we can prove that she had such a goal. We can defeat this magic. I see. So she didn't go to the mansion with food as a goal, but she had a different goal. And she said she wanted to go and get food in order to describe her real goal. Sure enough, it might be possible to find an explanation that way. But how? Teacher, we can instruct the scene that Kirie's death. We cannot summon a ghost, but inspecting the corpse ought to be a right allowed to the human side. Yes, there's no problem. I shall reconstruct the scene where Umineko Kirie died. We cannot call Kirie-san's ghost here, but by finding out what Kirie left behind, we may be able to use that as a weapon. Fine. Such as much as you want. There's no way you'll learn anything. In short, I just said and read a short while ago. Kirie did not leave anything written down. No matter what you find, how can you possibly figure anything out? We may find nothing. But Battler is grinding his teeth, finding a thinkable move to break through you. This is all that I can do. Wait, what happened? Okay, she went to the reconstruction. Beatrice landed on her feet in the reconstructed hall. Approached Kirie's corpse and wandered around, observing. I am completely clueless when it comes to fighting on the human side. We need to find evidence, right? Then what should I search for? The great Lady Beatrice is getting down on her knees and crawling around. And she even indecently searching the corpse. That look suits you. Say wherever you wish. I cannot do any more than this. I care not how I'm despised. However, I cannot throw Battler away as he's fighting for my honor. Even if I must crawl on the ground and search through dead flesh, I must answer to that responsibility. Bathed in the witch's sneers, Bechdel searched through Kirie's corpse. She fished through the pockets, taking what was inside out and laying it on the floor. Laid on the floor was a handkerchief, tissue, a key to her house, the stub of a boat ticket, a lighter, a cigarette butt, and a single 100-yen coin. There was no special suspicious object. Although Bechdel was down on all fours and being sneered at, that was all she could find. Wait, what's she trying to look for, though? I think I have an idea, but... You can break my magic with that stuff.
くだらない
Worthless.
くだらないバカみたい
You are a moron.
勇ましいことを言って割り込んでお
You'd
き
be
ながら
so
その低たら
lame.
くは何な
And
の
right after you cut in between us, talking so tough.
ああ情けない恥ずかし
How
い
pathetic. How embarrassing.
へそかんで死
If
んじゃ
only you just give up and die. The witch fell over laughing, lambasting Betto. Betto hung her head, trying to withstand the shame.
お嬢様、
Milady.
検証は十分です。
Oh, you're finished with your inspection. Indeed. I will not find any more than this.
以上の物証から
Can you
何
make
か
any
反論の
counter
一
with
手
this
は出ますか
evidence?
出なけれ
If
ば
not,
人間
then
側
the human side
リ
must
ザインせ
resign.
ざるを得ません当たり前でしょ
Honestly,
何
you
も
don't
反論
have
の
any
余地なん
room
て
to
ないの
argue
よ
back.
私は魔女だもの
I am a witch.
私の魔
You
法は
cannot
打ち
break
破れ
through
ない
my magic.
あんたはもはや
You're
元魔
no
女でし
longer
かないの
anything but a former witch.
ベアトリーチェを
A
名乗ることも許さ
loser
れな
who
くなっ
isn't allowed to
た
take
た
the
だの負
name
け犬なのよ
Beatrice anymore.
さあ
Come
そのゴミやガラクタ
Pile
を
up
好き
as
に
much
積み
as
重ね
trash
て
and
私
rubbish
の魔
as
法を
you
打ち破っ
like,
てごらんなさい
and just try to break my magic.
できないでし
Can't,
ょ
right?
できないわよ
Can't,
それはな
right?
ぜ
And why is that?
私が魔女だ
It's
からよ
because I'm a witch.
あんたは名前さえ持
It's
たない負
because
け犬
you're
だか
just
ら
a
よ
loser without a name. Come on, Battler, do you have a move?
何か
Something
何かあるはずなのだ
should be here.
くじ
I won't lose heart.
くじけぬ
I
さ
will not lose heart.
どれほ
No
ど
matter how much
嘲
I
笑われ
am
よう
sneered at.
とわらわの名誉のため
Battler
に
is fighting for my
バトラ
honor.
バトラの名
So
誉
for
の
the
ため
sake of his honor, I must not lose heart.
にものか
As Becto held back tears at the words of humiliation she was being showered with, she tried to find if Kyrie was holding something else, to find something that could save Battler from his plight, searching earnestly. However, nothing more came up.
くそ
Damn it.
頼む
Please,
後ろ宮キリ
Ushime
エ
Kyrie,
そなたの息子の
you
キ
must
ル
save your son
そ
from
な
this
たが
fight.
救わぬわけがない頼む
Please,
そ
after
して
death,
なおあやつのた
lend
め
me
に
your power.
力を貸してく
For
れ
his sake. However, Kyrie's body did not answer. It was only natural that a corpse would remain silent. No dead person existed that would answer Beto, who lost the endless magic.
無駄よ無駄無駄
It's pointless, pointless.
死者をもてあそべ
Telling
る
you
のは
the
魔
dead
女だ
is
け
a
の特権
privilege
よ
only for witches.
魔女でもな
For
く
you,
そ
is
して人
neither a
間で
witch
すらないあ
nor
んたに
even a
力
human.
を貸してくれるも
No
のなん
one
てど
exists
こ
who
にも
will
存
lend a
在しない
hand.
あんたは永遠に
You'll
一
be
人ぼ
alone
っ
for
ち
all eternity.
魔女にも人間にも味
You have
方はな
no
く
witch
誰
or
もあん
human
たを助けてなん
allies,
て
and
くれ
no
な
one
い
will
の
save you.
悔しければ泣いちゃ
That's
えば
frustrating. Why don't you cry?
役に立てなくてごめん
Even
なさ
when
い
you just
詫びちゃ
apologize,
えば
saying, I'm sorry, I'm so useless. Sorry, Battler.
わらわでは
I couldn't help you at
も
all.
そなたの力になれぬ
いや、
No,
十分だ。
that's enough.
ありがとう。
Thanks,
ベ
Beto.
ト。お前の努力
I won't waste your
を俺は
efforts.
無駄にしない。
I
慰めなど
I
いら
don't
ぬわ
need your consoling. Just how can you possibly argue back with this pile of rubbish? Just how can you possibly strike back with this rubbish I scraped together while she sneered at me? In front of Beto, who was still crawling on all fours and hitting the pile of objects Curie had left behind with her fist. Battler also crouched, and, after patting her on the shoulder in thanks, he moved that hand to the ground, picking up the cigarette butt, and held it up over his head. What are you trying to say with that trash?
キリエさんはタバコを吸わない。
I left the other thing that does Curie-san smoke? I don't remember. If Curie-san doesn't smoke, she doesn't smoke. But Curie also had a lighter on her. True, she didn't have an actual box of cigarettes. But at a glance, it naturally looked as though Curie had a smoking habit.
親父は吸ったが、
Dad
キリエ
smoked,
さんは吸わ
but
なかっ
Curie
た。
didn't.
でも、
But she did walk
親父はタ
around
バコ
with
に火をつける
just
た
a
めに
lighter to
ライ
light
ターだけ
Dad's
は持ち歩いて
cigarettes.
たんだ。
Huh?
だからなんだ
So
というの
what?
夫がタバ
If
コ
the
を吸
husband
うんな
smoked,
ら、たと
even
え吸わな
then
く
even
て
if the
も、
wife
妻
didn't,
がタバコを
it
持っ
wouldn't
て
be
たとして
strange
も
for her
不
to
思
be
議は
holding
ない
a
わ。
cigarette.
あるいは喫
Maybe
煙
she
マナー
just
の
picked
悪い
up the
夫の捨
cigarette
てた
butt
吸い殻を
off
拾
of
っ
her
ただけ
husband.
かもね。
Bad smoking manners.
それがなんだって
What
い
are
う
you
の？
trying to say?
私の魔
What
法
does
と
this
どう
have to do
関
with
係が
my
あるっていう
magic?
の？何もありゃしない。
Nothing at all.
さらに言おう。
I'll say more.
こいつは、親父の
This
吸って
is,
るタバコの銘
this is
柄
a
と異
different
なる。
brand of cigarettes than what Dad smokes.
すまないがベアト、
Sorry, Beto.
親父の遺体の懐を見
Could
て
you
くれる
look
か。
in the pocket of Dad's corpses too? Dad's corpse too. Indeed.
これか。
You mean this?
銘柄を確認。
Checking the brand.
吸い殻と銘柄が異な
The
ります。
brand is different from the cigarette butt. Oh!
キリエが持っていた吸い殻は
The cigarette butt Curie is holding is not the same brand that Rudolph smokes.
だからどう
And
したという
so
の？
what?
キリエは
Maybe
綺麗
Curie
好き
is
の
just
い
a
い子
good
だから
girl who
落
likes
ちてる
things
吸
to
い殻
be
を許せず
clean.
拾っただ
So
け
she
かも
couldn't
し
leave
れ
the
ないじゃ
phone
ない。
cigarette butt alone and picked it up.
私は嫌だけど。
I wouldn't though.
ベアト、すまんがもう一人頼む。
Beto. Sorry, but one more time, please.
秀吉おじさんの
Uncle
懐だ。
Hideyoshi's pockets.
親族でタバコを吸うのは
In this family,
親
only
父と
Dad
秀
and
吉おじさ
Hideyoshi
んだけなの
smoke。cigarettes.
あったぞ。
It's here.
これか。
Is this it? Beto found a cigarette box in Hideyoshi's pocket, took a single one out and held it up,
銘柄を確
checking the
認。
brand.
吸い殻は
We acknowledge that the
秀
cigarette
吉の
butt
吸う
is
タバコ
of
の
the
銘
same
柄と
brand that
認めます。
Hideyoshi smokes.
だからなん
And
だと
what
いうの？
so?
秀
And so
吉
what?
の吸い殻が
How
キ
can
リエ
you
のポ
break
ケッ
my
トから見つ
magic
か
that
ると
you found
私の
Hideyoshi's
魔法で
cigarette
どう
butt
や
in
められる
Kirei's
っていう
pocket?
のよ。
そうさ、
That's right.
この吸い殻が。
This cigarette butt is a
Kirie-san
message
no
from
message.
Kirei-san.
いや、
No,
この
this
吸い殻
cigarette
こ
butt
そが
itself is the reason that
キリエさん
Kirei-san
がゲストハウ
left
ス
the
を
guest
離れた
house.
理由なんだ。ベアト、ありがと
Beto,
う。
thank you.
お前がこいつを見つ
If
け
you
てく
hadn't
れなかっ
found
た
this, I would have
俺
given
は
up
ここで
here.
屈していた。
Alright. So we went because someone had a very bad smoking
ワルギ
habit.
リア、
Oh, for Julia!
状況を再構築。
Reconstruct the situation.
第2の番
The guest house after it
Those
came to
Alba-san
light
たちが
that
殺され
Aunt
たことが
Rose
発
and
覚
Marie
した
had
後
been
の
killed
ゲ
on
ス
the
トハウ
second
スだ。
twilight.
了解。
Understood.
再構築します。
Reconstructing now.
ロンサ、マリ
After
ア、
Rose and Maria's death, 残
残
the
った
remaining
生存者は
survivors
ゲストハウス内
rechecked all the doors and windows in the mansion.
バリケードを構築。
They constructed a barricade.
牢城の結束
They
を再確認。
reconfirmed that their defenses were solid.
何も不審なところなんか
There's
ないじ
nothing
ゃない。
suspicious about that at all.
何が言い
What
た
are
い
you
の？
trying to say?
第4の
Why
番
are you
以
bringing
降
up
の
the second
話をしてい
twilight
るの
when
に。
we were talking
なん
about
で
the
第2
fourth
の番の直後に蒸
twilight
し
and
返すのよ。
after?
親父は
Dad carried a portable cigarette butt holder with him.
キリエさん
I'm
は
fine, it's starting to see like Kirei-san went out of her way to put a cigarette butt in her own
ようや
pocket.
く見えてきたその吸い殻に意味がある
It's
からさ
because that cigarette butt meant something.
その吸い殻こそが
That cigarette butt was itself a message left by Kirei-san for us.
聞こうじゃない
Now let's hear it.
その吸い
How
殻
do
一
you plan
本
to
で
deny me
どうやって
with that
私を否
single
定してみ
cigarette
せるというの
聞いての通りだ
as we heard?
第2の番
After the second twilight, an inspection was done of all the rooms in the guest house.
この時
At that
キリエ
time,
さんは
Kirei-san found something that shouldn't exist in a place where it shouldn't be. Something
あっては
that
いけ
shouldn't
ないもの
exist?
と
What do you mean by
は
that?
何なのだ
こいつ
It's this.
この吸い殻さ
The cigarette butt.
こいつが秀
This
吉
was
さん
set
の
in
い
the
た客室の
ashtray
灰
of
皿
the
に
guest
置かれてい
house
た
that Uncle Hideyoshi was in.
はあ
What?
灰皿に吸い殻があってどうおかしいってのよ
What's wrong with there being a cigarette butt in an ashtray?
おかしいのはあんたの頭の
Are
方
you
じゃ
sure
ない
there's
の
something wrong with your head? There's something wrong with your head?
エヴァおばさんは大
Aunt
のタバコ
Ava
嫌い
hated smoking.
そのおば
There's
さんが
no way
体調
there'd
を
be a
崩して寝
cigarette
込んでる
butt
のに
while Aunt
吸
Ava
い
was
殻があ
sick
るわ
and
けがない
sleeping.
んだしかし
However,
灰
there
皿
was
に
a
は吸
cigarette
い殻
butt
があ
in
っ
the
た
ashtray.
それを見たキ
When
リエ
she
さんは
saw
すぐ
that
に気づい
Kirei-san
た
noticed immediately.
秀吉おじさんが嘘
Uncle
をついて
Hideyoshi was lying.
本当は
She
エヴァお
realized
ば
that
さんは
Aunt
寝込んで
Ava
なんていなかっ
hadn't really been sleeping
た部屋を抜け出していたんだ
and
と
that she
気づい
stepped
たんだ
out of the room. Wait, what? However, there was a cigarette butt in the ashtray. When she saw that Kirei-san noticed immediately. Uncle Hideyoshi was lying. She realized that Aunt Ava hadn't really been sleeping and that she snuck out of the room. Okay, so he's saying that since Aunt Ava really keeps smoking that much, and Hideyoshi, who is a really good husband, wouldn't smoke in the same room with her. So either Ava had to be out of that room at some point in time. Okay.
副賞要求
Repeat it!
この吸い殻は
The cigarette butt was crushed out in the ashtray of the room where Aunt Ava and Uncle Hideyoshi were resting.
拒否する
I refuse!
ようやく掴ん
Finally
だぜ
got it.
ありがとうよ
Thank you, Beto.
であと
What?
わらわら
Was I
役に
of some
立てた
use? Yes, you did. You
Ah,
helped a
so
lot. Yes, yeah, you were.
ハグぞ
Tear it.
俺たち
Let's tear the mask of the
エ
fake
セ魔
witch.
女の化けの皮を剥いでやれ
From that cigarette butt, Kirei realized that Hideyoshi was cheating. No. She realized that Hideyoshi was creating an alibi for Ava's sake. Hideyoshi had been tasked with watching over the room to create an alibi. And during that time, he was unable to withstand the tension and smoke. Then Kirei had confessed that to Rudolph. She confessed that there was a good chance Ava was the culprit, and Hideyoshi was an accomplice.
そしてキリエさんは
Next, Kirei-san proposed that they go to get food.
そして
She then asked
秀
Uncle
吉おじさんに
Hideyoshi
そ
to
の
lend
手
a
助けを
hand.
頼むこれが意味する
This
こ
could
とは
only
ただ
mean
一
one
つ
thing.
キリエさんは
Kirei-san planned
秀
to
吉おじ
isolate
さんを
Uncle
隔離し
Hideyoshi
て
and
真
question
相を
him
問い
about
詰める
the
つもりだ
truth.
ったんだ
Nor Hempel's raven is valid. Unless the witch side contradicted this move, the existence of the magic that's supposed to control Kirei-san has been denied.
なんですって
What did you say?
否定するわよ
I deny
とに
it.
かく否定するわよ
Anyway, I deny it.
私じゃないわ
It wasn't me. No.
後ろ宮エヴァじゃない
It
わ
wasn't
エヴァは
Amish
部屋で
Ava.
寝てた
Ava
の
was sleeping in
よ
her room. Oh, look at that. She was so confident saying she's Beatrice, she's the witch, she's the golden witch. But now that she's getting cornered, she starts saying, it wasn't me, it wasn't Ava. I thought you weren't Ushimi Ava.
ならば言ってみ
Then
る
try saying it.
ああいやしない
Yeah,
さ
you can't say it.
今度だっ
You
て
can't
言
say
え
it
や
this
しないさ
time either.
副将要求
Repeat it.
後ろ宮エヴァ
At that time,
その時
Ushime Eva did not take a
部屋から
step
一歩も
outside
出
her
てい
room.
ない
何なのよこれ
What the hell is that?
攻めていたのは
I'm the
私
one
でしょ
who's attacking, right?
なんで私が攻めら
Why
れる側になって
am I
る
the
の
one being attacked now?
いつの間に攻
When
守
did
で
offense
逆転
and
して
defense
る
get
のよ
reversed?
問い詰めて
I'm
る
the
のは
one
私
pushing
なの
you,
よ
right?
この魔
The
女である
witch,
私がな
me.
ぜ
So,
に
hey,
繰り返す
again,
副将要求
repeat it.
後ろ宮エヴ
Ushime
ァ
Eva
部
did
屋を
not
出て
leave
い
the
ない
room.
言えるわ
There's
けが
no way you can say it.
チェック
It's
メイトだ
checkmate. Yeah, that face. He's cornered her. He's cornered her.
ありません
Does the witch side have a move in response?
あるわけがない。
There cannot be one.
虚実にて聞か
There
せ
is
て
no
いつも
truth that can be accepted from a false witch dressed up with the truth and falsehoods.
本当の魔女
You aren't qualified to call yourself a real witch.
貴様
You
は
aren't the
黄金の魔女
golden
じゃない
witch.
貴
You're
様は
a
人
human.
間後ろ宮エヴァ
Ushime
だ
Eva. Yeah, attack her soul. Destroy her existence. Oh, she's flashing back and forth. She can't handle the witch form. The witch howled. Her entire body was burned with the tremendous heat that denied her own magic and existence. She let out a howl like a dragon. Her body flickered repeatedly, flashing as though Ava's figure and the witch's figure overlapped. What's happening? What's happening? However, that yell was sucked into the flicker, making a return to the original form of the cruel witch. She has an attack. She has a counterattack. This is gonna be brutal. This is gonna be really brutal, but I love this part.
いいわ
Sure.
私のことを後ろ
If you
宮
want
エ
to
ヴァと
call
呼びたけ
me
れば呼べ
Ushime
ばいいの
Eva, then go ahead and do that.
そうよ
That's
確か
right.
に私は
I
後
actually
ろ
can't
宮エヴァが
repulse
犯人である
all
ことに
moves
対する
related to
察し手
Ushime
の
Eva
全て
being
を
the
撃退する
culprit.
ことができない私は黄
I
金の魔
may
女
have
を
been
引きずり
dragged
下ろされ
down from the position of Golden Witch.
今や
And you
後
might
ろ宮エ
call
ヴァと
me
呼ばれているかもしれない
Ushime Eva now.
でもねだからっ
But
て
you know what?
魔法と魔女の
That
存在が
by
否
itself
定さ
doesn't
れ
mean
たわけ
that
じゃない
witches and magic have been denied.
私が今から教えてやる
I'll
わ
teach you starting now.
私が後ろ
I'll
宮エ
teach
ヴァ
you
など
that
では
I
な
am
く
not
人
Ushime
間などではなく
Eva, nor a human.
本当の魔女であるこ
A
とを
real
今
witch.
から教えてやるわ見なさい
Take a look
この赤き
at this
真
red
実を
truth. When the witch clapped her hands, time advanced in the world of the game board. It's gonna get real bad for Battler. Battler and Ava dashed to the front of the parlor, calling out Jessica's name. They were searching for Jessica because they had gone to the servant room, found Nanjo's corpse, and didn't know where Jessica was.
それが
So,
どうしたって
what's your point?
何が言いたい
What are you trying to say?
まさか
You couldn't be.
ま
Oh,
ずい
no. Becto went pale. In other words, the move the evil witch was about to make was bad enough to make even Becto go pale.
今度こそ
This
言い逃れの
time,
できぬ致命的な
I'll
一
give you a
手をあな
fatal
たに
move that you won't be able to talk yourself out of.
いいえあなたを応援するすべての人
No,
間
I'll
ど
make
もに
this move
くれて
against
やるわ
all humans who support you.
こ 心して聞きなさい。
Listen
私の
carefully
言
to
ってを
my move.
やめよ
Stop it. That
その一手は
move is
ベアト下がれ
Beto. Step back.
俺は受けるぞ
I'll take it.
来いエセ魔女め
Come on, you fake witch. You're gonna regret saying that.
ジェシカ負傷後、
After Jessica was injured,
エヴァは常にバトラの監
Ava was
視下にあった
constantly under Battler's supervision.
バトラは犯人でも
Battler
な
is
く
neither the
共
culprit
犯者で
nor
も
an
ない。
accomplice.
エヴァの完全なア
By
リバイを
this,
証明
we
で
can
きる。
establish a perfect alibi for Ava. What?
あんたは
I'll heal you.
人間
And humans as well.
絶対
And
に
a
逃
red
れられ
bear
る
that
赤き
most
結界に
certainly
て
cannot
封じ
be
て
escaped
殺
from.
す。さらばだ人間
Farewell,
どもよ。
lowly humans.
出口なき
Safe
絶
for
対
all
の魔法
eternity
に
in
して
absolute closed room of magic with no exits.
さ
Come on,
あ、心して
listen
聞きなさい。
carefully.
赤き真
Listen to
実
the
を
red truth.
この島には19人以
There
上
are
の
no more than
人
18 humans
間はいな
on
い。
this island.
謎の怪人
Throw
物が
away
隠
your
れていて
foolish
犯
thoughts
行
of
を
mysterious
な
people
どという
hiding
愚
and
か
committing
しい考えは捨てな
crimes.
さい。でも、こう
But
いう
if
言
I
い方を
say it
する
that
と
way,
動物
you
の
might
犯
also
人も
suspect
疑えるわ。
animal culprits.
殺人を仕
I
込んだ
can
オランウ
hear,
ータンは
I can stand to
人間に
hear
は
some
監視さ
irrational
れて
theory
ないなん
about
て
how
へ
an
りくつを言われちゃかな
orangutan
わ。
trained to commit murder wouldn't count as a human. That was a reference to I read that story. That's an old original detective story. I can't think of the name.
ならこういかんの？
So I'll change it like this.
人間以外
No
の生
life
命は
forms
一
other than
切
humans have
この
any
ゲームに
connection
関
to this
係がない。
game.
というわけで
That's how it is.
次に
Next,
こ
I'll
の島
explain
に
the
存在
situation
する
of all
18
18
人の状
people
況を
who
全て
exist
説
on
明
this
するわ。
island.
金蔵は死亡してい
Genzo
る。
is dead.
クラウスは死亡
Klaus
してい
is
る。
dead.
夏日は死亡し
Nasuhi
てい
is
る。
dead.
秀吉は死亡している。
Hideyoshi is dead.
ジョージは死亡してい
Georgie
る。
is dead.
ルドルフは死亡している。
Rudolph is dead.
キリエは死亡している。
Kiri is dead.
ローザは死亡している。
Rosa is dead.
マリアは死亡している。ゲンジは死亡している。シャノンは死亡している。カノンは死亡している。ゴーダは死亡している。熊沢は死亡している。南條は死亡
It's
してい
like
る
a。sweet little song she's singing.
以上、15人は死亡。
Those 15 are all dead.
そして
And
バトラは生存してい
Bachelor
る。
is alive.
エヴァは生存している。
Ava is
ジェ
alive.
シカは生存している。
Jessica is
こ
alive.
れで18人
That's
全員。
everyone. All 18 of them.
よって
Which means that even the last victim, Nanjo
バ
died.
トラとエヴァとジェ
Only
シカの
three
3人
people,
だけが生きていたことは
Butler,
わかるわ。
Ava, and Jessica, were alive, right?
な
What did you
な
say?
んだと
Damn it.
貴様
You don't mean
まさか
エヴァはあなたとずっと
Ava
一
was
緒
with
にい
you
た
the
わ。
whole time.
だから犯
So
行
committing
は不可
crime
能。
was impossible for
も
her.
ちろんバトラ
Of
君は
course,
犯
Butler
人じゃない
isn't the culprit.
アリバイ偽装
He
だっ
was
て
in
してない
forging
し
an alibi for
彼女
her,
の犯
and he
人
took
の可
the
能性も
possibility
考慮
that
してい
she
た
was
か
the
ら
culprit
そ
into
の
account,
行動は用
watching
心深く
over
見
her
張っていた。
actions carefully.
彼女には
No
不審な
chance
ことを
existed
でき
for
る
her
あ
to
ら
do
ゆる可
anything
能性が
suspicious.
存在しなつまり犯
In
行時
short,
の使用人室
at
に
the
は
time of the
南
crime,
條とジェシカしか
only
いなかったの
Nanjo
よ。
and Jessica were in the servant room.
となると読めてるわ
And
よ。
you know what you're thinking.
あなたの一手はこ
Your
う
next
よ
move will
ね。
be this, right?
ジェシカが犯人の
There's
可
also a
能
chance
性
that
もあ
Jessica
ると。
is the culprit.
しかし残念
But
ね。
too bad.
先に赤
I'll
で
slice
叩
it
き切っ
up
てあ
in
げ
red
るわよ。
before you try.
後ろ宮ジェシカは
Ushimi
殺人を犯
Jessica
していない。
has not committed murder.
南條殺しに関わって
She
い
was
な
not
い。
involved with Nanjo's murder.
彼女の目は完全に
Her
塞がれ
eyes
て
were
いる。
completely covered.
その彼女に殺人
It'd
を
be
行うこ
impossible
と
for
は
her
不
to
可能
carry
よ
out。a murder like that.
さらにおまけしてあげる
And
わ
here's a bonus.
エヴァとバトラも男
Neither
女を殺
Ava
してい
nor
ないし
Battler
関
killed
わってもい
Nanjo,
ない
nor were they involved.
ちょっと待ち上がれ。
Wait a second.
それじゃお
That
かしいじゃねえ
doesn't
か。
make sense.
3人しか
There
人
were
間がいない
only 3 humans
それで殺人が起こっ
then
て
a murder occurs,
その3
and
人
none
が
of
関
those
わって
3
ない
were
なんて
involved.
そんなのおかしい。
Insane. One second, try and look around. I heard something. Now see nothing. That's insane.
はっきり断言してあ
Oh,
げ
state
る
it
わ
clearly. Oh, there you are, you little rat. Oh, state it clearly.
南條を
The
殺した犯人
culprit
は
who killed
バトラでも
Nanjo
エヴァ
was
でも
neither
ジェシカでも
Battler
ない
nor Ava nor Jessica.
つまり
In other
生
words,
存者の中に
it
は
was
いない
one of the
ということだね
survivors.
お分かり
Get it?
いや、その
No,
そうだ。
that's right.
二重人格とかどう
What
だ。
about multiple personalities?
もともとお前が
Just like how you were originally
もう一つの
another
人格であったように。
personality on Ava's.
例えば
Let's say Jessica had another witch-like personality,
それが
which
ジ
took
ェ
the
シカ
name
以
of
外を
someone
名乗
other
って
than Jessica
南條先生を
and
殺
killed
したとか。
Nanjo. Battler, you got so close, my boy. You got so close to the truth.
愚かね
Moron.
す
Moron.
でに赤で語っているわ
I've already said it in red.
ジェシカの目は
And
完全
Jessica's
に塞がれ
eyes
て
were
いて
completely
彼
covered
女に殺
and
人
murder
は
was
不可能
impossible for her.
彼女にどんな人格
No
が
matter
憑
what
依しよ
kind
う
of
とも彼
personality
女の
she was
肉体では
possessed
殺人を
by,
行えない
murder
の
cannot be carried out with her body.
それともこう
I
言えば
wonder
満
if you'll be
足するかし
satisfied if I
ら
say it this way.
ジェシカの
No
体が起こ
actions
したい
caused
か
by
なる動
Jessica's
作も
body had any relation to or influence on the murder of Nanjo.
この適
This
用
also
を
applies
バ
to
トラとエヴァ
Battler
にも
and
広げるわ
Ava.
つま
In
り
other
どう
words,
あがこ
no
う
matter how
が
much
解
you
釈
try to
しよう
struggle
が
and interpret it,
ジェシカとバトラとエ
neither
ヴァは
Jessica nor
南條を
Battler
殺した
nor
犯人では
Ava is the
ない
culprit who killed Nanjo.
ふざけるな。
You gotta be kidding me.
だって
I mean,
他はもう
everyone
全員
else
確
is
実に死
definitely
んでるじゃ
dead,
ねえかよ。
right?
なら
Then
あとは残るのは
all that's left
南條先生の自
is
殺説だ
Dr.
けじゃねえか。
Nanjo's suicide theory, right? That is a good theory, my boy, but how can you explain his death where it's the murder weapon? You're not thinking it through, Battler.
あとトラップ説。
And the trap theory.
犯人は
The
すでに死
culprit
亡
was
してい
already
る。
dead, but a trap that they had already prepared was off.
南條は他殺ね
Nanjo's death was a homicide.
もちろんトラップでは
Of
なく
course, it was a
直接
direct
的な
method
殺
of
害方
murder,
法よ
not a trap.
凶器を構え
A
それ
weapon
に
was
て真
ready,
正
and
面の
he
至
was
近距離
killed
から
with it
殺した
from point blank range in front of him.
犯人は
The
南條の目
culprit
の前
appeared
に堂
openly
々と
before
現
Nanjo's
れ
eyes,
そして互いに
and
顔
as
を
they
見合わ
both
せ
looked
なが
at
ら
each
殺
other's
害
faces,
したのだ
the culprit killed him.
だから待てよ。
But wait! There's
生存者
only
は3
3
人しかいない。
survivors. Sorry. Dalton is here. There's a little rat running around the house. There's a little rat running around the house, and I feel like she's underfoot in the chair. But wait, there are only 3 survivors.
それ以外は全員死んで
You
ること
said
は
in red that
お
someone
前が
else
赤で
is
語ってる。
that everyone else is dead.
つまり18人
You
全員の
basically
生死が
confirmed the
確
life
定してる。
of life or death status of all 18 people.
しかも19人目は存在しない
Furthermore,
と。
the existence of a 19th person has already been denied in red.
つまり
In other words,
生存者3人以
no
外
one
には
can
存
exist
在できない
except the 3 survivors.
なのにその
And yet a
3人以
4th
外の
person
4人目
other
が
than those 3
Nanjo
appear
senseiの
before
前に
Dr.
現れて
Nanjo?
19人目
How
は
could a
存在
person
しな
other
い。
than us appear
どうして
and
俺たち
murder
以外の
Dr.
人間が
Nanjo
現れて
when no
南條
19th
先生を
person
殺害で
exists?
きるんだ。おかしい。
Insane!
お前は
You're
嘘をついてい
lying.
る。赤字で
You're
嘘を
lying
つ
with
い
the
ている。
red.
赤
The
は
red
真実
only
のみを
tells
語
the
る
truth. Isn't doubting that the same as betraying the honor of the witch who's behind you, shriveling up in fear of me and hiding behind your back? Right now, I'll state it clearly. The only one who appeared in front of Nanjo was me, a witch. The golden witch who can't be explained away with the 18 humans. Virgilia! Renove! Is there a contradiction in this situation? Is she really telling the truth with Red? Yes. Correct truth is that. What an elaborate and precise coin. How should I make a move against her? Virgilia, aren't there any moves? I cannot think of any. And you, Renove? My apologies. However, in these last 1,000 years, I've never seen such an elaborate, beautiful game board laid out. I hate to admit it, but it's beautiful. Yes, it's so beautiful you being wrapped around in red truth. What a beautiful checkmate made in red. The witch's teacher and the demon butler were both stunned, with an expression of ecstasy rose to their faces. Forget surrendering. They were impressed at this perfect checkmate, which simply had to be admired. When people accept defeat from the bottom of their hearts, it gives rise to neither regret nor humiliation. Nothing is born except feelings of respect. I no longer knew what had happened anymore. What was it? I no longer knew what was that anymore. There were absolutely no weak points in her red. She had said in red that all 15 people had died. She had said in red that no people exist other than the 18. In other words, no more than 3 people, me, Jessica, and Aunt Ava, existed. And even though none of those 3 people were the culprit, Dr. Nanjo was killed. Without a doubt, Dr. Nanjo's death was a homicide. He was murdered by that person openly from in front of him. And she's saying that person is a witch. But the regular Nanjo is not an animal or anything of the sort. That's already been dealt with in red, right? Everything other than humans has been completely removed from the consideration. Even things like robots don't work. Absolutely no factors other than humans participate in this game board. Therefore, I can also say this. The one who killed Nanjo. What'd you say? The one who killed Nanjo was definitely a human. A human with their feet on the ground held up a weapon and killed with it right before his eyes. However, the human may have been able to use magic. In other words, it was a glitch. In other words, it was me. The golden Beatrice. Even as Battler grounded his teeth, his knees hit the floor with a thump. His soul still refused to surrender. However, His knees had already started to accept surrender. I love the red spider web going across the screen. It looks like we're stuck in her little trap. Oh, did you kneel? That's right, you're already starting to understand. The golden witch does exist. And the golden witch Beatrice and me. Praise me. Now, praise the resurrection of a true witch. Now, praise the resurrection of the golden witch Beatrice. On the ninth twilight, the witch shall revive, and none shall be left alive. Oh, she's got us trapped. What can we do? What can we do?
俺にはわからねえ。
I don't understand.
ここまで徹底的に赤でがんじがら
After
め
being
にされ
so
た。
thoroughly immobilized by the red,
俺にはもう
I don't
さっぱりだ。
have a clue anymore.
バトラ
Bactula,
くじけるな。
don't lose heart.
わらわとそなたは再び戦い合う約束を交わしたではないか。
Promise that we would fight each other again, right?
ここでそなたは屈服するのか。
Will you surrender here?
わらわと
Will
再
you
び戦
disappear
う
in
前
a
に
place like this before?
このようなところで
Fighting with
消
me
え去るの
again?
か。
その約束を破り
I
たく
don't
は
want
ね
to
え。
break that promise.
しかし
However,
俺には奴を
can't
否定
think
す
of
る手が
any move to deny
全く
her
思いつかねえ。これはそもそも
in the
問
first
題に
place.
さえなってない。
This isn't even a puzzle.
容疑者以外は存在せ
Nothing
ず、
exists
その容
outside
疑
the
者は全員
suspects,
白。
and all the suspects are innocent.
赤で白だって言
I
われ
was
てんだ
told they
ぜ。
were innocent in the red, right?
それでいて、し
And also,
っかり他殺で
that
犯
it
人
was
は
a
人
real
間で、
homicide,
ちゃんと目の
and
前
that
に
the
現
culprit
れて
was
南條
human,
先生を
and
殺した
that
と
they
いう。
did appear before Dr. Nando's eyes and killed him.
もうお手上げだ。
I give up.
どうにもならねえ。
Nothing I can do.
頼むバトラ
Please, Butler,
諦めるな。
Don't
く
give
じ
up.
けるな。
don't lose heart.
思考を
If
止
you
めれば
stop thinking,
自
it
動
only
的に
becomes
そな
your
たの負
loss.
けとなる。頼むか。
I'm begging you, don't lose heart.
わらわも応援して
I'm
おる。
also cheering you on, so don't
負け
lose.
たりするな。
もう何も思いつかねえ
I
んだ。
can't think of anything anymore.
どうせあいつは魔女だか
I
ら。
find myself
魔法と
thinking
かでやっ
she's
たに
gotta be
違い
a
ない。
witch who must have done it with
考えだけ
magic,
無駄だぜって
which
思っ
makes
ちまう。
all thinking pointless. It's
ダメだ。
useless. My
頭が
head
痛
hurts.
い。脳が
My
疲れ
brain
る
is。tired.
考えたって無
I'm
駄だ
starting
か
to
らや
think
めち
that
まえって。
thinking's pointless, so I should just stop.
バト
But
ラ聞け。
listen,
チェスというゲームは
in
相
the
手
game
を
of
負
chess,
かそうと互いが尽く
both
すから
sides do all
一
they
回の
can
ゲ
to
ーム
make
に
the
長
other
い
lose.
時間をかける。
So a single game takes a long period of time.
しかし
However,
どちらかが最
if
初から
one
勝
side
ちをする
throws away victory
自
from
分
the
に損な
beginning,
手を
it
進め
makes
させば
moves harmful to themselves.
あっという間にゲーム
The
を終
game
える。
can't end in the blink of an eye.
これをフールズメイト
That is called a fool's mate. A fool's mate is simply put a strange way of playing chess, in which the fastest method of losing are considered. Opening the area in front of you, in front of your own king, and inviting the opponent's queen in. Even though the average game time in chess is several hours, a game can be resolved in scant 4 moves. In other words, if both sides try to win in a fight, they are compelled to take a painfully long period of time. But if one side decides to lose, the game can be ended far too easily at any time.
人間側は
When the
思考を
human
停
side
止さ
stops
せることに
thinking,
よって
it hands the problem before its eyes over to the witch.
木からリンゴが落ち
And
ること
even an apple
さ直
falling
ちに
from
魔
a
法の
tree
仕業ということ
can
で
be immediately
決着でき
resolved
てしまう。
as the work of magic.
そしてそれは
is the same for the
魔
witch's
女側
side.
も同じことだ。魔女は赤
Witches
き
use
真
the
実を
red
使う
truth.
それにて
By using that, they can
魔法の
explain the
正体
true
を
form
人
of
間に
magic
説
with
明できてしまう
humans
ことを示
and
せば
immediately lose.
直ちに敗北すること。
You
言われなくても分かってるさ。
don't have to tell me that.
考えを止めるな。
You're telling me to not stop thinking, right?
しかし、
However,
あいつのあの完璧な
how
真
should
っ
I
赤な手で
counterattack that person?
どう
Right,
やって反撃すれ
perfect
ばい
right
いんだ。
move
俺には、
for me,
人間には、
for humans.
もう無理だ。
It's no longer possible.
無理。
Is it impossible?
バトラに
Is it really
は無理なのか。
impossible for you, battler? Please
頼む。
don't lose heart.
くじけるな。
She about to do it.
すまん。
Sorry,
俺にはも
I've
う
reached
無理だ。
my limit. Battler scratched at the floor, crying heavily. Becto watched with a distressed face. Then she stood up and spoke to the witch.
わらわが
I will make a
そなたの手に。
move as counter to yours.
反撃の一手をさ。
へえ。
Wait, are they playing? They're playing this song already? Wait, did they play this in the other chapters? Huh?
この完璧なるチェックメイトに
I
あなたはど
wonder.
う切り込んでく
So
れ
how
る
you
とい
plan
うの
to
か
cut
しら。
cut this perfect checkmate?
人間には決して破ることのできないこの
One
チェック
totally
メイト。
impossible for humans to break.
あなたごときがどう
Be
破
defeated
る
by
と
the
いう
likes of
の？
you.
ベアトリーチェ、
Beatrice,
あなたまさか。
you don't mean to. Indeed.
人間にさせぬ一手なら
If a human cannot make a move,
わらわが
I will assault you
魔女
with
で
a
ある
move
が
I
ゆえ
can
に
use
させる一
precisely
手
because I am a witch.
そなたを向か
魔女であるがゆえにさ
It's
せ
a
る。
move you can use because you're a witch? What are you
お前、
planning to do?
何をする気だ。
わらわが
I will use the red
赤にて魔女を否定する。
to deny witches.
ベアトリーチェ、
Beatrice, milady. The teacher and the butler were both startled. I also immediately understood what it meant. To use a red that only witches could use. To use a red to deny witches. It was like using her own sword to slit her own throat.
はあ？
Yeah, even she's like, wait, what? It's like using a nuke, but it only really hurts you and everyone like you.
あんた
Hey,
何を言ってる
what
の？
are you saying?
赤で魔女を否
Deny
定。
witches with red?
バカ言ってんじゃないわよ。
Quit talking like an idiot.
そんなことしたら
If you do that,
あんたも無
you
事じゃ済
won't
まないわよ。
get away unscathed either.
そなたは魔女に
You
あ
are
る。
not a witch,
そしてわらわ
and
が
I am
ま
not
た
a witch either.
真の魔女への道は
The road to becoming a true witch is difficult, and I have much farther to go.
なればこうつ
Very well then,
今この場
right here,
元より魔女など存在はしないのだ。
there's never been any witches in the first place.
わらわが自
I will
ら
strip this
そ
deception
のまや
away
かしを剥ぎ取ってやろうぞ。
myself.
私もあんたもしっかり堂々
Aren't
とした
both
魔
of
女
us
でしょう
real?
が。
Obvious witches?
赤が使えるこ
Being
と
able
こ
to
そ魔
use
女の
red
証。
is self-proof of witches.
あんたにとって
I don't
魔
know
女の
what the
正義
definition
がどう
of
いう
a
ものか
witch
知らない
is
け
to
ど、
you.
あんただけは無
But
傷
if
で
you
済む
think
なんて
that
勘違
you
いをして
alone
い
will
る
be
な
able
ら
to get away unscathed, then
勘違いなどしているも
I'm
の
not
か
gonna make such a mistake.
それで良いの
And I care not.
ですって
What did you say?
わらわはもとよ
I never did manage to become
り
a
魔女に
witch.
も慣れていなかった真の魔女
I've done nothing more than finally began walking down the road to becoming a true witch.
もし
If I am
今
right
の我ら
now
が魔女だという
is a witch,
それは力
then
に
I
よ
am
る
a false witch like you,
そなたに同じ
one who's merely
偽り
drunk
の
on
魔女に過ぎ
power,
ぬそのようなみすぼらしい
rather than
姿
existing in that shabby form.
未練などな
I
い
shall erase this form of mine along with you,
そなたもろ
without
とも
any regrets.
わらわのこの姿
Are,
正気
are you insane?
やめなさい
Stop it!
私はまだ魔女
I
でいた
still
いの
want
よ
to be a
人間
witch.
は嫌なの
I
よ
hate being human.
魔女様
Witch
どうか
Sama,
ご着席を
please return to your seat.
人間側
Please
の受け
receive
手
the human-sized
をどうか
counter
ご着席の
from
上
your seat.
お受けください
何をするの
What are you doing?
離して
Let go of me!
その女
Don't
に
let
覇気を使わ
that
せないで
woman use the red!
やめさせ
Make
て
her stop!
離せ
Let go! As the witch stood from her seat and tried to spring up, Betto Renove pressed down on both of her shoulders, forcing her back into her seat. And even after that, he did remove his hands from those shoulders. Denying witches was the same thing as denying magic. That includes demons such as Renove. For a second. Sorry, I had to check something. However, instead of running away, Renove chose to act as a facilitator for the game, and to carry out that duty for his master's sake.
ベアトリーチ
Beatrice,
ェ後悔は
you have
ないのです
no regrets, right?
お師匠様の
That's my luck. Sorry, teacher.
いっぱい楽しい
Even though you taught me so much about
幸
fun
せな魔
magic
法を教えてもらっ
and
ても
magic that brings happiness,
全然上手に使えなかっ
wasn't able to use it well at all.
ただから
So I'll study from square
ゼロ
one
から修行やり直してくる
and start over again.
そのバカ弟子の
I am
不始末
truly
に
sorry
巻き込んで
That you had to suffer for your
本当に
stupid
すまなかった。
disciples' misconduct.
良き弟子よ
I had a
最
good
後に
disciple
もてました
in the very end.
あなたの信じるままに
Do what you believe
お
in.
生きなさい
I don't have a clue what you guys are talking about.
俺にはさだがこれだけは分かる
To understand one thing,
そして言える
and I can say this.
ベアト
Betto,
何をしよう
I
としてる
don't
の
know
か知
what
らね
you're
え
trying
が
to do,
これからやろうとしてい
but
ることをや
stop
め
trying to do it.
そなたに手はない
You have no moves,
しかし
but I have one.
わらわに手この一手
If you let that move
逃
get
せばあや
away,
つは魔女として真
she
の
will
意
be
味を
revived as a witch in the
今度こ
truest
そこの
sense.
島のすべてを
And
支配
this
する
time, she will control this whole island.
すべての悪
All nightmares will be
あの女の
hers to
自
do
由
as
自
she
在となり
will do with as she pleases.
この島は永
And
遠
this
に
island will fall
邪
into
悪
the
なる魔女
deepest
の妄想
hell
を
of
繰
the
り返す
evil
無
witches,
限地獄に陥
representing
るのだ
delusions for all eternity.
そなたは
Can you permit that?
それを許せるというのか親しい家
Don't
族
you care if your dear relatives
永遠
are
にあの
toy
魔
with
女の
all
悪夢にも
eternity
て遊ばれても
in
よい
that witch's nightmare?
そういうの
だが
Still,
お前が
you
犠牲
shouldn't
にな
have
る
to
ことなんて
sacrifice
ない
yourself. This is
これは
a game
俺と
between
奴のゲーム
me
だ
and her.
お前が身を犠牲
You
にして
shouldn't
手
have
を
to
刺す
make
ことなん
your
てない
move and sacrifice yourself.
お
I'll
俺が
think
考
of
える
something.
起死回生の
I'm
一手
sure
必
think
ず
of
考
a
えるから
miraculous move.
だから早まる
So
な
don't rush into it.
畜生
He's crying. He's crying for her. He went from God damn you, Beto, to damn it, Beto.
対に
I'll
思いつく
definitely
から
think of one.
だ
So
か
don't rush into it.
ら謝るんじゃね
この
This game is
ゲーム残
cruel.
酷すでにそなたの兆
The
候
time limit for your consideration has already run out. I am the only one who can do
わら
it.
わしかおらん安心せよ
Calm yourself, battler.
わらわが
I'll defeat her.
あの残酷な
I'll
る
defeat
魔女
that cruel witch with my own hands.
え待てベアト
Wait, Beto!
やめろ
Stop
よ
it!
せ
Quit it!
お前が自
There's
分を犠牲に
absolutely
する
no
必要
need
なん
for
て
you to
何も
sacrifice
ない
yourself.
わらわを否定するため
Weren't
に
you
そなたと
fighting
戦
to
っていた
deny
のだ
me?
おかしなやつ
I'm not
だ
a strange person.
あの子の好きに
Let that
させ
child
てあ
do
げ
as
て
she
ください
likes.
そして
And
どうか
please, watch her
見
until
届
the
け
end.
てやってください
But,
しかし
バトラー
Butler,
一つだけ
there's only one thing I ask.
頼みがある耳を
Would you cover
塞
your
いでくれぬ
ears?
か
耳を
My ears?
どうして
Why?
わらわはこれより
Starting now,
赤に
I will
魔女を
deny witches in red
あやつの
I will
赤に
slice up the
包みた
game
盤面を
board that she has laid out with her red.
させ
By doing that,
わらわ
I will probably lose my form as a witch
魔
as
女の
well.
姿そなたもわらわが語る
If
赤
you
き
also
真実
hear
を聞けば
The red truth
わらわ
I
の
speak,
正体を理解することに
you'll understand my true form.
そなた一人が耳を
If
塞
you
いで
alone
くれ
cover your ears,
真実は
that
何も
truth
変わ
will
ら
not change at all.
だが
However,
それでも
even so,
そ
I
なた
want
にだけは
you alone to cover your ears.
そな
Yet,
たの前
please,
だけ
I
でも
want to be a witch. In your
魔女で
eyes,
頼む
please. Her final request.
ベアトリーチェ様、
Beatrice-sama.
魔女側
There are
問
no
題ありませ
problems
ん。
on the witch side.
どうぞ
Please,
察してよ。
your move.
あんたもただじゃ済まないのよあいつおか
She's
しいわ
insane!
私たちを巻き
Do
込ん
you
で
plan
自
on
分も
dying and taking us with you? Stop it!
否定しない
Don't deny it!
やめて
仮にも
How
黄金の魔
unsightly
女
for
が
a
見苦しい
golden
ぞ
witch.
さあよい
Okay. Are you ready?
バトラの代わりに
I'll
そなたの
remove
チェッ
your
クメイトを
checks in
外
Battler's
す
stead.
15
What
人
happened on the
3
chessboard
人しか残ら
where
ぬチェス盤に
15 died
何
and
が
only
起こっ
3 remained.
たわらわがこれより赤にて暴く
Starting now, I will expose it in red.
その赤き真
With
実
that red truth, I will pierce and kill both fake witches.
共に貫いて殺す
Beto turned around and smiled at Battler. Most likely, no one would believe that the witch who had gone to the limits of cruelty would try to leave a smile as the last expression she showed Battler. And that smile signified her last wish, that she wanted him to cover his ears. Denying witches in red was the same as knowing her shabby form. Battler put both of his hands against his ears to protect her final bit of honor as a witch. He put his hands against his ears, rejecting the truth. And he howled, so that not even a bit of what she was saying would slip into his ears. I can imagine him screaming random things with his hands covering his ears, his eyes shut tight. Either that was a world where Battler could hear nothing. Becta was saying something in red. Even the evil witch covered her ears with those bitter contents. That was The red truth. Words of power. Words that denied her own existence. Unique words that only witches could use, which denied witches. Beto spoke. With the red truth, she cut up the bright red game board that the witch had released. She's doing it all. She destroyed the whole game board. She explained difficult problems that could not be solved by humans, with moves that could only be solved by witches. It began encountering the witch. The truth that Battler was not permitted to hear. If Battler had broken his promise and instinctively eavesdropped. In an instant, Battler would probably have been able to become the victor in his game with Beto. He would probably have understood all the riddles of this island, all the magic and tricks, closed rooms, spells, curses, legends. In this entire tale of anger and sadness. However, Battler could only learn what that was when he reached the truth himself. Yes. From the beginning, Beatrice had wished that Battler would reach the truth by himself. It was something one shouldn't teach. One shouldn't reach by being told. It was a truth that Battler would have to drag himself to by his own power. A brilliant light gathered with Beto and the evil witch at the center, and grew gradually stronger. It was the power of the truth. Its heat and brilliance like the sun, shone out all the falsehoods they hid in the darkness, trying to deceive and burn them to nothing. Why? Why can't you die? Why can you throw away your life when you have such incredible power? You who hold the power to control gold, magic, and everything at will. Why can't you so readily throw that away? Learn that even with a mountain of gold, even with the magic to split the sea, there are some things you can never obtain. Come, show yourself. Show your true form. What's happening? What's happening? We're back on the game board? When the sun exploded and blew everything away, Ava could be seen there holding a gun. You're the culprit. Aunt Ava. Is that Ava laughing? Took you long enough to notice. Battler gun. Without any hesitation or mercy, Ava raised her gun and pulled the trigger. As an explosive sound rang out, Battler's heart was shot through and he fell to the floor. After going into convulsions for a short time, with blood dripping from his mouth, Battler died. But in his last moments, he realized without a doubt that she was a murderer. And not just for killing him. There have been many murders, and I don't have a clue how they were carried out. However, while my ears were covered, Beto exposed all of them with thread, blasting away all magic. In other words, even though I didn't understand it, was that nothing more or less than the proof that magic can all be explained with humans? Beto made me cover my ears. so I won't. So I myself don't know the whole truth. However, now that it's been denied and read, I can see one fact which is extremely unfair for us. That it is possible to deny all magic. So in other words, no. I must not think that. If I do, the time I spent covered my ears would be made pointless. I think he finally figured out the truth of the murders. I think that's where he finally understood the truth of it all. If I'm going to regret, I can only regret my own actions. If, at that time, I thought some moves to spin things around and counter the witch's final form, there would have been no need for Beto to sacrifice herself. It was my own worthlessness that brought about this conclusion. What's happening? What's gonna happen? Even though it was a pitch black world where nothing could be seen, for some reason, I felt Beto's presence right next to me. So I tried calling out to her. You can exchange words with someone, whether they're a human or a witch. So even in a world where witches have been denied, I should be able to talk to her.
ベアト。
バトラか。
Battler, is it?
やったぞ。
It is done.
わら。
I did it.
ああ、
Yeah,
聞こえはしなかった。
I didn't hear it,
俺はお前の
but
姿。
I watched you until the very end.
最後、お前が
I
邪
definitely
悪な
saw
魔女に
you
毅然と立ち向かうところを
boldly stand up to that evil witch.
ちゃん。
これでも
With this,
う、わらわは魔女ではな
I
い。
am no longer a witch,
だが必
but
ず
I will definitely become
わらわは
witch
再び魔女になるぞ。そして
and then
再び
I will
黄
make
金
it
の魔
so
女と
that
呼ばれるに至
I
る。
can be called the Golden Witch again.
再び
And once again,
そなたの対戦相手だと認められに。帰
so
る
that I can be accepted as your opponent.
いや、
No,
お前は
you
魔女だったぜ。
were a witch. Huh?
俺は見てたぜ。
I saw it.
お前が
When you took that evil witch and blew her away with that awesome magic,
その正体を暴き
exposing
出
her
すところ
true form.
俺はちゃんと
I saw it with my
この
own
目で見てい
eyes.
たぜ。
あ
That,
あれは魔法ではな
that
く
wasn't magic,
赤き
but the red.
いや、
No,
魔法
it
だったぜ。
was magic.
お前は確かに
You were definitely
黄金の魔女だった。
the Golden Witch.
お前自らが否定しようと
Even if you deny it yourself,
俺が認めてや
I'll
るよ。
acknowledge it. What's going on? Going on?
お前は確かに
You are definitely
黄金の魔
the
女だ。
Golden Witch. When Battler said those words, in the world that had been dark, there was suddenly a single grain, a small grain of gold, like a wheat seed, shone brightly. And even though it was small, it had a strong gold-colored sparkle. She's back! She got her form back! Then it's shown on the two of them, sitting with their backs together. So they each became aware of their own form. They did not exist as consciousness. They did not exist only as consciousness. They became aware that they had bodies and definitely existed. No, perhaps we should say that they each had been given a existence called a body. When Battler looked at his own form, he wasn't surprised. But when Beto looked at her own form, she was a little startled. From Battler's perspective, she looked just like normal. But for a short while, she was surprised by that form. I remember this in the manga version, when Beto got her form back. Because in the manga version, they don't just show the blackness, they show Beto, or the entity or person that is Beto or behind Beto, or you can call her Beto. They show them as like kind of like this white void of a being. And then when she got her form back, she examined herself and she looked down her dress to see her looking at her boobs. Not for a pervy joke. I mean, it seems like it at first, but spoilers. What?
どういうこと
What's
なの
going on?
あの光の粒の
That
輝き
sparkle from that grain of light.
どんどん強くなる
It's slowly getting stronger. The grain of wheat was no longer simply gold colored, but was like the light of the sun. Then it softly began to approach Beto's chest. When that grain of sun was sucked inside her chest. What the heck is that? The world was wrapped in a deep blue sky, then a deep blue ocean was spread out below them. The world returned to normal, the world she imagined and loved so much. An island rose up, trees sprouted and created a forest, walls surrounded us, and ceilings swallowed us. And it was adorned with more and more things, made to be like the hall in Ushimiya Mansion. In the middle of the fantastical hall were many gold butterflies beat their wings. Many tables were set up with the white tablecloths like it was a party. And beautiful cooking and fruits were set out. And over there were a great many shapes. It was everyone talking together and smiling. Everyone? There was Dad, and Kirei-san, Uncle Kraus, Aunt Natsuki, and Aunt Rosa, and of course even Aunt Ava, Uncle Hideyoshi, George, Nikki, Jessica, Maria. Wait, even Shannon-chan and Kennen-kun, Golda-san, Kumasawa-san are here. Everyone was at the party, clapping their hands and celebrating our return. Woo! You're here! Aw, look at Maria-chan, so cute. The happy couple. Why?
どうしてみんな死んだの
Even
に
though everyone was dead,
どうして生きて
why
る
are
んだ
they alive?
黄金鏡では
In the
全ての
Golden
死者
Land,
の魂を
the
蘇ら
souls
せ
of the
ることが
dead
で
can
き
be
るのです
revived.
おかえりなさい
Welcome back,
ベアトリーチェ
Beatrice.
そして
And
ようこ
welcome
そバトラ
back,
カ
Lakan.
黄金鏡へよう
Welcome to the
こそ
Golden Land. I made it.
黄金鏡への
I
扉
made
に
it
至ったのか
to the door of the Golden Land.
はい
Yes.
お嬢様
My lady,
つい
you have finally managed to
全員
invite
を黄金鏡へお
everyone
招
here.
きできたのですようこそバトラさん
Welcome,
黄
Butler
金
Son,
鏡へ
to the Golden Land.
バトル
Genzo! Butler,
ようやくここへたどり着いたか
you have finally made it this far. Grandfather,
じいさま俺は
we're in the world empire. The Golden Land, boy.
お前はわしの
My
魔法
blood,
と相入れぬ血を最も濃く受け継いでしまったのだ
runs most deeply in your veins.
ゆえにこの
Therefore,
黄金鏡に
you
お
are
前
the
だ
only
けが
one
た
who
どり
could
着け
not
ず
reach the
ずっ
Golden
と
Land.
ベアトリーチェは
And
そなたを
Beatrice
探していた
I've
の
been
だ
searching for you this whole time.
そなたをここへ連れてくる
tried
ため
everything to
に
bring you
あら
here.
ゆる手を尽くしておったなんだって
What did you say?
さあバトラさんもお席へ
If you would take your seat.
今宵の料理は
Nice dinner is my
この
very
5打
best
目の
work.
最高傑作を尽くしました。どうかぜひご
Will
賞味
please
ください。
replace it? Will you please repel us? Ah!
あんた光栄に思いなさいよ。
Hey, gluttony! You should be honored.
本当は
Normally,
私
I
が
would
全部
eat
食べるとこ
all
ろ
of it
お情け
by
であんた
lucky
ら
some
の分も残してあげてるんだ
of
からね。
gratitude.
7クイ
The 7 stakes Natons
黄金鏡では
in
意
the
志ある
Golden
者
Land.
全てが公平
Oh,
だ。
those whose minds are equal.
ここで我ら家具
Here.
とて
There's no
人間こそ
distinction
魔女と
between
区
us
別はない。
furniture, humans, and witches.
バトラ様
Bachelor sama,
お待ちしておりまし
we
た。
are waiting for you.
そしてようこ
Welcome to
そ
the Golden
黄
Land.
金鏡へ。
承知の兄貴。僕もまだ
I still
これ
feel
が
like
夢
this
じゃない
might
かと
be a
疑ってる
dream.
よ。僕たちは死ん
We
だは
should
ず。
have died. You
で
did
も
die.
生きてる。
But I'm alive.
そして全員が
And
全
everyone-
員ここにいて
Everyone here
幸せなんだ。
and happy.
信じられな
I
い。
can't believe it.
そうよ。
That's
どう
right.
せここは夢の中の
This
世
life
界
is
なの
a
よ。
dream world.
だからジョージがメイドの女と仲
So
良
it
く
must
したっ
be
て。
a dream that George is acting so friendly with the maid girl. Girl, just let your son be happy. You're basically in heaven.
予算かエヴァ。
You give it a rest, Eva.
今は黙
But
って
now you
若
gotta
い
think I
二人を
am
祝
just
福
the
せな
two
あ
young
かん。
youngins.
黄
The
金鏡は
Golden Land is the
至
city
福
of
の
bliss.
都や。ここではいがみ合いは一切なしやで。
We should never quarrel here.
ここでは
Here,
愛し合う
any people are free to love each other.
誰にも阻
No
ま
one
れない。
needs to hesitate over it.
ジェシカちゃん、彼女
Jessica
素敵。
Chan, Jenica, you look so wonderful.
焼けちゃうわ。
I'm jealous. Now, is that Envy? That's supposed to be the sister of Envy. Huh? I thought sister Envy had green hair.
よう、バトラ。
Back to love.
なんだかその。
バトラ様、
Back to the summer.
ようこそ。
Welcome
そして
and welcome home.
お帰りなさいませ。
Jessica was probably embarrassed because she was holding hands with Kennington. Kennington wanted to act humbly like a servant and bow, but since neither of them could let go of the other's hand, he couldn't do so well, and the whole scene looked fairly comical.
使用人のことなんて
It's a servant with a servant child?
ダメです。
You can't.
うちの
Our
ジェシカを
sister
やれるわ
cannot
け
do
あ
such
り
a
ません。
thing.
いいじゃないか。
It's hardly a big deal, correct?
好きな相手く
Let
ら
her
い
at least choose
自
the
由に選
person
ばせ
she
てやると
likes.
いい。
What if crowds get so laid back about this?
ダメです。ダ
She
メです。
can't. She can't.
ジェシカ。
My daughter with the help.
うちもダメなの
You're
よ。
either Georgie. Why are you trying to disgrace the family? As Aunt Eva and Aunt Nasuhi hugged each other, they cried tears of regret for their adorable children. Even though they had always been at odds. It was a very bizarre scene.
いいじゃないですか。
It isn't really a problem, right?
誰が誰を好き
It
に
doesn't
なっ
matter
た
who
って
you like. Who likes you? Who likes you?
そうよ。
That's right.
親が子離れしてない証拠
It's
ね。
proof that a parent's too attached to their child.
バトラー、
That's that.
俺はお前がどんな
No
女
matter
を
what
連
kind of
れ帰
woman
っ
you
ても
bring home, I'll give her a warm welcome. Okay?
この人に紹介しちゃダメ。
Don't you dare introduce her to this man. Yeah, he does have that kind of history.
すぐ手を出すから。
He'll get his hands on her immediately.
とっとと駆け落ちしちゃうの。
They'll run off together right away.
バトラ
Melina! Butler!
ー、やっとここへ来た。
You finally came here!
マリア、
Maria,
お前は最初から
from the very beginning.
ここへ来ること
You
に
knew we'd be coming here.
知っていた。
だからマリアは
That's why I was
何も
scared.
怖くなかったみんなは臆
Everyone
病
was
で
being
別々
coward and trembling.
面白かった
It was funny.
なんて
What the hell?
一番
Even though I thought you were the most screwed up,
実は最初
you actually knew the truth from the beginning?
無礼です
How rude! How rude!
マリア教に対して
I
そのよ
cannot
うな
forgive you for speaking
と
of
ても許
Lady
せない
Maria in that way.
射撃曲線形成
Formulating finding her. Attack preparations ready.
マリア教
Lady
いつ
Maria,
でも攻撃で
you
き
can
ます
attack anytime.
あんた
What happened?
静か
He hit her. Be quiet.
にベアトリーチェ
The
様
only
の
person's
御
a
前
Beatrice Sama.
まあ固いことを言わずに
No need to be so stiff.
今ははしゃい
Just
で
because
喜び
their
の
desire
い気
to
持ち
joke
を
around
察し
and
まし
have
ょ
fun.
うそれより
More importantly,
乾
why
杯の
don't we
準備
begin to
を
prepare
始
for
め
the
ようではありま
toast?
すか
さあ
Yes.
自慢のサバ
Preparations
料
for
理
my
の準
excellent
備は十
mackerel
分ですよ
cooking are complete.
いつでも配
I
膳で
can
きま
serve
すよ
it anytime.
ほらみんな
Hey, you people!
少しは考
Work a little more like furniture.
やだ
No!
もっとつまみ食いす
I'm
るの
gonna sip you some more!
さあ
Come
働こ
on, let's work.
うお客人方を
Don't
待
keep
た
the
せる
guests
な
waiting.
私たちは
Let's work
熱せく
seriously
働
at
き
attend
奉
them.
仕をしようお客人たちに何もさせ
Don't
るな
let the guests do anything.
無性にさせて
Make
怠
them
惰にさせ
lazy.
て
Make them
コロコロと
slothful.
豚のよう
Fatten
に超え
them
さ
like
せろ
pigs. Okay, so sloth only wants to work hard to make other people more slothful. Seems to make sense.
ベアトリーチェバトラ君こちらへ
This way. Grandfather and Virgilia were standing on the landing at the top of the staircase, beckoning to us. Bettler and I turned our heads. I'm sorry. Becto and I turned our heads to see what was going on, then climbed the stairs together. From the hall, it looked like a very high stage. A small table had been set up there, as well as a piece of parchment, an old-fashioned quill pen. I saw that strange magical characters in Japanese were written side by side, and below it, many names were written. There were 17 of them. Grandfather was the first, and everyone's names had been signed all over it. The people who arrived at the Golden Land probably signed this one after another.
バトラ
Batala,
お前で全て
now
が
that you
揃
are
う
here, everyone is gathered.
心して
Listen
聞くがよ
carefully.
い
黄金
The
鏡
Golden Land is
魔
not
女
a
の
world
力だけ
supported
で保たれて
by
い
the
る世界
power
で
of
はありま
magic
せん
alone,
そこで幸福を
but
享受する
cooperation
すべ
and
ての
approval
人
of
間に
all
よる
humans
協力
to
と承
receive
認が必
happiness
要
here
な
is
んです
required.
そのため
For
に
that sake,
ここには
we
全
must
員の
gather the
サインが揃
signatures
わ
of
なきゃなら
everyone
ないんです
here.
前
Last time,
黄金
The
鏡
door
の
to the
扉が
Golden
よう
Land
や
was
く
lying
開いた
open,
が
but
お
you
前は
refused to
サイ
sign.
ンを拒んだ記憶
Although
に
you
は
probably
ないだ
don't
ろう
remember.
がなお前がサ
Because
イ
you
ン
refused
を
to
拒んだ
sign,
た
the
め
pearl was once
こ
again
の世界
sealed
を
in
再
dark.
び闇に閉ざしてしまったのだ
Just
それだけを
hearing
聞
it
いて
like
ると
that
なんだか
kind
俺
of
一人
sounds
が
like
頑固
I'm
で
the only stubborn one.
みんなにいろいろと迷惑を
And
かけ
that
たよ
I
う
have
に
been a
聞こえ
bother
る
to
な
everyone in various ways.
そなたの頑固
That's
は折り紙
because
付
your
きであるから
stubbornness
な
is the real deal.
金蔵から受け継いでいる
It
のは
seems you
血だけ
received
では
more
ない
than
ら
just
しいぞ
blood from Kinzo. Beto laughed amiably. I should have felt like she was making fun of me, but without thinking, I went along with her, laughing and smiling.
魔法とはすなわち
Magic is a miracle. Miracles cannot be made complete unless everyone believes. And when you believe in the end, this miracle, the Golden Land, was
黄
completed.
金鏡は完成するのだ。
It looks
なんだか
like I've been a
い
real
ろいろ
pain.
迷惑をかけちまったみたいだな。それで
So,
俺は
what
どう
should
すりゃ
I
いいんだ。
what should I do?
まず
First,
ここにあなたのサイン
Sign
を
here.
次に
then
ベアトリッチェをここにサインを
you sign here.
羽ペンって
Those
使い
pins
づらいな
are pretty hard to use, huh?
うわ
Whoa,
弾いた。
it's shot?
下手くそめ。
You glutz.
インク弾きは
Shooting
縁起
ink
が悪い
is
の
a
だ。
bad omen. Oh, it is? Oh, so that makes sense what's about to happen soon.
自分の名前くらい取っ
Can't
とれば
really write your name quickly.
ミミズがのたくるよ。
Your pins wriggling all over the place like a worm.
お前こそなんだ
You
よ。
should talk.
カタカナで書くなよ。
Don't write in katakana.
ベアトリーチェなん
It's
て
just
洒
a
落た名前なん
stylish
だから。
name.
ちゃんと
So
引
write
き
it
たい
in
て書け。
cursive.
羽ペンと名前が
You're
泣いて
making
る
the
ぜ。
quilling your name cry.
うるさい
Ah,
な。筆記体はテストの時は使うな
didn't
と
they
授
tell you
業で
not
言わ
to
れな
use
かった
cursive
か。
on test?
これ厳か
This
な
is
儀
a
式であ
solemn
るぞ
ceremony.
沈黙せ
Be
よ
silent.
結構
Very well.
二人のサインが揃
You
い
gather the two
誓約書
signatures
の
as
書式
well
が
as
揃
the
いま
forms
した
for the covenant.
二人には宣誓を
Both of you. Your oath, please.
まずはベアトリ
We'll
ッチ
start
ェ
with
から
Beatrice.
誓約書に手を
Put your
添
hand
え
on the
誓
covenant
約を
and take the oath
ベアトリーチェは良き魔女として
as a good witch.
人々の幸福のために
Beatrice
今
swears
後
to
も
continue
修
her
行を
studies
続けるこ
from
とを
this
誓
point
い
forth
ます
to bring happiness to the people.
さ
Say it. Indeed. It's a little embarrassing. As
あ
a
ベア
good
トリー
witch.
チェは良き魔女として人々の幸福のために
Beatrice swears to continue her
今
studies
後も修行を
from
続
this
ける
point
ことを
forth to bring
誓い
happiness
ます
to the people.
これでよいか
Will that do?
よろしい
Acceptable.
次はバトラーだ
Butler is next.
バトラ君も同様
In
に
the same way, Butler can
誓約書に手を
put your
添え
hand on the
誓
covenant
約
and take the oath.
を後ろ宮バトラは
As a
黄
member
金
of the
鏡の一
Golden
員
Land,
として自身と
Ushime
隣人の
Butler
幸福
swears to
のために
serve for the sake
奉
of
仕
his
す
own
ることを
happiness
誓います
and that of his neighbor.
後ろ宮バトラは
As a member of the Golden Land,
黄金鏡の一員として
Ushimiya Butler swears
自
to
身と
serve for the
隣
sake
人
of
の
his
幸
own
福のために
happiness
奉仕すること
and
を
that of his
誓い
neighbor.
ます。俺も
I'm
恥ずかしいぜ。
embarrassed too.
危険なのも
Listen, everyone.
今ここに
Here now, we
黄
have
金
gathered
鏡
the
を認
hosts
める
of all
18
18
人の
humans
人間全
who
員の
accepted
制
the
約
Golden
が揃
Land.
った
And Kenzo proclaimed that. Everyone applauded at once, praising us. Since I had been the only stubborn one and had just been a pain, I felt a little bad about being the most celebrated one.
それでは古式にのっとり最後に誓約したバトラ君これは黄金の魔女ベアトリーチェを黄
In
金鏡へ
accordance
招
with
く
the
ため
ancient
のもの
rites, we asked Battler Khan
黄金
the
鏡は
last to make the
それを
oath
認めた人間たちの総
to
意に
sign the
よって
invitation
黄
to the
金
Golden
の魔女を
Land.
招き
This is something that invites the Golden Witch,
そして
Beatrix, to the Golden Land. The Golden Land welcomes the Golden Witch through a consciousness of those who have acknowledged it and becomes complete.
バトラー読み上げる
I will read it out loud.
しっかり
Listen
聞け
carefully.
我々
The
18
18
人
of
は
us
黄金の魔女をベアトリーチェと認め
and welcome her
黄
to the
金
Golden
鏡へ
Land.
招きます
Don't do it, Battler. Don't do it. Listen to the words. Listen to the words.
なんだよお前。
What's
俺
going
は
on
招
with
待
you
状を送
two?
らないと招かれ
What's
ない
going
の
on
か。
with you? You won't be invited unless I send an invitation.
そ そういう儀式らしい。
That does seem to be the ceremony.
わらわとて
It
肩が
feels
凝る
stiff
ぞ。
even to me.
さっさと
Why
終わ
don't
ら
we
せよ
end
うじ
it
ゃない。
quickly?
わらわはさっ
I've
き
been
から
so
腹
hungry
が
for a
減
while
ってか
now.
なわんのだ。
そういや俺
Come
も
to think of it,
缶
I've
詰
only
をちょ
been
いとつっつい
expecting
た
a
だけで
canned food and haven't even eaten good.
さっさとサインを済
Let's
ましち
really
まう。
finish this signing.
なになに
What's this?
あなたを魔女と認
I
めます
acknowledge you as a witch. Huh?
ずいぶんシンプルだ
That's pretty simple.
じいさま
Damn you, grandfather.
校長して
Exaggerating it so much.
ほらほら早く。
Come on, come on, quickly.
そこにサインを。
Sign. Right there.
うわ
Huh?
早く。
Quickly.
サインを。
Sign. With a slightly weird and uncomfortable smiles, the two of them started demanding that I sign. There she is! She's At that time, an incredible sound like that of a glass window breaking reverberated through the hall, and the bustling tumult faded back into a complete silence. I dropped the quill pen and turned around, trying to see what had happened. There she is! There she is! When I did, where had she come from? A human who had clearly hadn't been there a short while ago was in the very center of the hall, looking up at us. Who's that? A girl? She's probably about the same age as Jessica and me. But I didn't know that face. None of the people here knew that face either.
なんだ貴様は。
Who are you?
何者だ。
Who is this?
どこから現れた。
Where did you come from?
わらわのパーティーに
That
招待状なき客は
invitations
必
are
要ない。
needed at my those without invitations are not needed at my party.
家具どもつまみ出せ。
Servants, kick her out.
仰せのままに
As you command.
囲め。
Surround her. Oh, the seven sisters of purgatory surrounded her from 7 directions, taking out magical blades that drew purple curves and blocking her. But not the goatmen. And from out of nowhere, shuffled goat-headed servants, carried in great numbers, surrounding that girl. On top of that, the Chiesta sisters stood in front of Beto like a wall, readying a golden bow and pulling back the bowstring. She gonna say something? She gonna say something? But the girl didn't move at all. On the contrary, she was still staring at us on the landing, as though she didn't mind at all. Who is she looking at? Beto? Grandfather? Could it be me? Yes. The girl was staring into my eyes, glaring. Then after our eyes met perfectly, she yelled.
それにサインしてはダメ。
You mustn't sign that!
自ら敗北を認めるの。
Are you going to accept your own defeat?
魔女に騙されないで。
Don't be tricked by that witch.
魔女に
By the witch? Huh? At that time, something incredibly strong lifted me by the nape of my neck. What was going on? And after being made to turn around behind me, I saw Virgilia with an eerie smile on her face in the muscular form of goat monsters. A goat monster that looked about 2 meters tall was grabbing me with an arm as thick as a log.
招かれず
There's
来
no need
客
to
に
listen
見
to
に出す必要
an
などありません。
yes.
さあ、
Come
あ
on.
なたはサインを
Offer
する
your signature as well
このセン
on
ス
this written oath.
後ろ宮バトラは
Ushimia
魔女の
Butler
存在を認める
acknowledges the
と
existence of witches.
さ
Come on
あ
now.
この宣誓書
Sign
に
the
サ
written
インを
oath. Don't you? They're trying to trick you into surrendering. Damn it!
離せ
Let go! as the monsters held me down with the power of a vice. They forced me to grab the quill pen. I couldn't even move to touch the floor with my feet, much less resist.
バトラ
Why are you resisting?
さっきはコ
Weren't
ロ
you
ッと
just
サ
about to
インしてくれ
sign
そうだっ
with
たじゃないか
me?
よ。今更
Don't change your mind now.
するなよ
After all that? Okay.
魔女を認めてもいいかな
Think, do you think for an instant that it might be okay to acknowledge the witches?
思ったんだ
You
ろ
thought that, right? I was
騙されてた
tricked.
そんな
That,
バカな
that's insane.
ベアとは
But isn't that
そんな
kind
や
of...
つじゃん
You know she is. You know she is. This woman lives off chaos. You know, she doesn't want, she's trying to be her best self. She's gonna resist an easy win.
悪いなバト
Sorry,
ラ
Battler.
こんなやつ
I
でよ
am that kind of person. He's useless now. It looks like sentimental sob stories don't suit me.
お師匠様
Teacher,
力ずくで頼むぜ
I'm counting on you to use all your strength.
地味な役回りだったんですっ
That
か
was
り
such
退
a
屈してたんで
plain role to play, and I got so bored.
何者か知らねえが
I don't know who you are, girl,
たっ
but
ぷ
I'll
り
beat you to
ぐちゃ
death,
ぐちゃの兄ちゃん
smash you, and crush you until threads start threading out. Okay?
女に
I'll
生まれ
make
て
you
きた
regret
ことを
being born a
後悔させてや
woman.
るよ
Make you regret being born a woman. Wait, I'll smash you and crush you until threads start rip. I think I'm missing some context here, but okay. As Becca waved her gold pipe, the massive chandelier hanging in the hall was electrocuted, and from that, a terrible purple thunderbolt fell. It should have been a direct hit on the girl right below it, turning her to ash. However, not a single hair was singed. Just standing there like a boss.
ほう
Oh,
飛び入りするだけ
you
のことは
so your sudden appearance here wasn't a fluke?
聞こ
Tell
う
me.
名を名乗れ
State your name.
あんたに名乗る名前なんて
I
ない
don't have a name to give you.
それより
More important,
バカ
you idiot!
いつまで騙されてるの
How
よ
long are you gonna be tricked?
このお人よし
You softy!
早く気づい
Figure
て
it out already!
これが全て
This is
全て
all
魔
the
女の
witch's
罠である
trap.
ことに
Those words were aimed at me. This is all the witch's trap, she says. That can't be. Vector reformed and swore to become a good witch. Vector.
ベアと罠なんて
All this about traps.
嘘だよな
It's a lie, right?
嘘だと
Please
言っ
tell
てね
me. It's a lie. Sorry,
悪
that
いな結構
It
面
was
白かった
pretty
ぜ
fun.
しかし
Sure,
お師匠様
I
の
did
言
what
う通
teacher
りにしてみ
told
たんだ
me.
が
But look how great it
結
turned
構いい
out.
とこまで行けたななんでも
Apparently,
つん
if you
つん
start
と残虐
all
を尽くした後に
hostile
程よ
and
くへた
usually
れて照れて
brutal,
みせると
then
好
turn
感度ってや
incompetent
つ
and
が大幅アッ
soft
プするんだ
at
ろ
just the right moment, you can spark a huge bump on your affection meter. Right? Or is she speaking like this is a dating game?
デレて病んでる
I heard
悪役が
villains
最
who
近は
start
イケてる
all
って聞いたぜ
lovey-dovey and then freak that shit out are all the rage these days. Actually, I prefer villains who start off as villains and slowly become good people.
これでもよ
Even I studied a bunch of those manga, anime, and Kuraki. They've been so popular lately, you see. And for you, just as expected, it was tears, please, and you're gone. Idiot. What a truly simple person. I'll call this the North Wind and Sun strategy. I'm making fun of us now. That's not... Tell you! You bastard! How could you trick me? She doesn't like tricking you. She says it was all a game, but that's a falsehood. Yes. That expression suits you the most. That caring expression of yours really doesn't suit me after all. It made me back itch, and I was practically trying to not let it get to me. Too bad. Witches never reform. That's a lie. She's making more falsehoods to protect her true self. Take care of the signature, teacher. This uninvited guest is my prey. Come. You can no longer refuse to sign. Come on. Look. Sign it. And offer your body, your mind, and your soul. When Virginia lifted her chin as a signal, the goat monsters, with an even more vice-like power, forced my arms to approach the parchment. These guys are trying to make me sign, even if it breaks my arm. The barrier. Then a bright red light burst open, with me at the center, knocking the witches and the goat monsters away. Did that girl save me? But who in the world is that? I don't have a clue. How long do you plan to keep playing in a place like this? Give it a rest. I'm jealous of you. Glad you saved me. Well, that's a pretty cool way to say it. Sorry, but who are you? Which Orokinojima? Give him back. Who would do that, you fool? Battler is my toy. My most favorite toy in the world. I will get tired of him. I will throw him away, and I won't hand him over to anyone. Even Battler's enjoying this to the fullest. Together with me, he is having so much fun playing. No matter who you are, I won't let you get in the way. Yeah, it looks like you're having a lot of fun. It makes me so jealous. It takes me off. Here you are, in a place like this, laughing and having a loud, noisy time with everyone. With all these beautiful witches around to pamper you. You must be having so much fun that you don't even want to go back. Are you talking to me? Wait, you got the wrong idea. I mean, I kinda want them to, but that's not what's going on here. This is a pain for me too. What do you mean, fun? You don't know what I've been through.
何が苦労よ。
What you've been through?
お父さんお母
You
さ
have
んと
fun
楽しく
living
過
with
ごして
mom and
人とみ
dad.
んなでキ
You
ャッキャと
played
遊んで
around with all the cousins.
愉快な魔
And you
女たち
get
と
to play
いつ
with
までも
these
永遠に遊ん
wacky
で過ご
witches
せる
for all eternity.
なんてあなたは
Don't you
幸せな
dare
の。
recognize the happiness you have?
あなたたちが
Can
羨
you
まし
see
い
how
わよ。
jealous I am of all of you? Of you all?
私も混ぜてほしいくらい。
So much that I wish I could join in too?
あいにくだが
Yeah, I'm
それ
sorry.
は断る
We'll have to turn you down there.
わらわは手持ちの
I'm
ガンダム
satisfied
で
with the
満足
toy I have.
そなたのよう
A
なそ
rude
やなガンダム
toy like you was not fitting for my toy box.
ええ、分かってる。
Yes, I understand.
誰があんたなんか
Who
と遊
ever
ぶも
play
の
with
ですか。
someone like you?
でも少しだけ
But
感
I
謝する
will
わ。
thank you a little.
こうして
Just a little.
みんなに
For letting me meet everyone like this.
お前
Who
誰なんだ。
are you?
まさか
You couldn't be. Is he know? Does he know? Does he know? Does he know? I see. Is that it?
ああ、わかった
Yes, I
そ
understand.
なたの正体
I know who you are.
なる
I see.
ベルンカステル教の送り込ん
So
だコマと
You are the peace lady Burn Castle through and
気に入った
how amusing.
改めて
Why
そ
do I
なた
formally invite
我
you
らの
to
パーテ
my
ィーに招こうで
party?
はないかたっ
I
ぷ
welcome
り歓
you
迎してやる
fully.
バトラ
Along
と
with
モド
Battler,
仲良
I'll
く
play
遊んで
nicely,
壊して
break
殺して
you,
潰
kill
し
you,
て灰にして
crush you,
パン生地
and
に混ぜ
turn
て
you
ふ
to
っくらと
ash,
焼き上げ
mix
て
you
くれ
with
るわ
red dough, and bake you until you're fluffy.
ああ、
Ah,
ダメね。
it's
全
useless.
然ダメだわ。
It's all useless.
あんたにそれは
You
できやし
can't
な
do
い。
that on the
1986
Rokujima
年
in
のロッケン島で
1986.
何があった
I'll
のか。
expose everything
私が
that
全て
happened
白
to
日
the
の
light
も
of
と
the
にさらし
day.
てやるわ。あんたなんて
I'll show you
真
that
実という
before
春に
the
怯える
truth.
霜柱でしかないことを教
You're
え
like
てやる。
an icicle scar, an icicle scared of becoming spring.
覚悟なさい。黄金の魔
Prepare
女
yourself, golden witch.
ベアトリーチェ。
Cast Beatrice, the golden witch, an endless witch. Ushumia Battler died in a ninth twilight. Ava Beatrice, that lovely, lovely, awful bitch. Ushumia Angie. Who's Angie? Where's Angie? Who could Angie have been? Ushimiya Kinzo died on the first twilight. Ushimiya Kraus died on the seventh twilight. Ushimiya Natsuhi died on the eighth twilight. Ushimiya Jessica died on the 10th twilight. Ushimiya Eva returned alive at what? Ushimiya Hideyoshi died on the 5th twilight. Ushimiya Joji died on the 9th twilight. Ushimiya Rudolph died on the 4th twilight. Ushimiya Kirie died on the 6th twilight. Ushimiya Rosa died on the 2nd twilight. Ushimiya Maria died on the 2nd twilight. Nanjo Tasumaru died on the 9th twilight. Rano Genji died on the 1st twilight. Shannon died on the 1st twilight. Canon died in the 1st twilight. Goda Toshio died in the 1st twilight. Kumasawa Chiyo died in the 1st twilight. Virgilia, the 1st Beatrice. The Demon Butler Renove. Lucifer of Pride. Leviathan of Envy. Satan of Wrath. Beelphegor of Gluttony. Mammon of Greed. Beelzebub of... what's Beelzebub again? Asmodeus. Siesta 410 and Siesta 45. Dude. All of the goats. Just all of the goats. Lambadelta, my Lady Lambadelta, and Lady Burncastle, my favorites of the two. The third game, Banquet of the Golden Witch Result. And so the Golden Land once again crumbled into the darkness. However, a victory finally appeared in the game of the Golden Witch. The victory of the new Golden Witch, Ava Beatrice, is the one who solved the riddle of the golden before time was up. All 17 died. When the seagulls cried, there was one survivor. Rondo of the Witch in Reason. Come on, we know this is the end. There's still more. There's still more. Come on. Fade out. Fade out. We still need to attend the tea party. Both tea parties. The Golden Witch has prepared a gift for you in the commemoration of your stay. You can find these new features on the title screen. Okay. Sumbasa! We got a little achievement. Wait, that's right to call it achievements on Steam. I forget. Okay, so before we do anything, let's look at the again. Oh, wait. I was trying to hit something else. I know we hit that, but... Wait a second. No, I mean, I need that. Man, I love to read it like that, but I can't. Wait, go back to the title? Because the game gonna... I think the game stalled for a second because the screen just went really quickly. So I want to look at the tips real quick. The tips for episode 3 aren't available yet, okay? Okay, we can't do that tea party yet, so we gotta do this tea party. Okay, so we had to go there, but I just want to make sure I didn't accidentally do anything. Hi, Lady Beatrice. I never expected Lady Burncastle's piece to barge in at the very end.
あんたとのゲームにふさわしい駒をずいぶんあちこち探し回ったの。
I searched all over for a piece fitting breaking with you.
きっと気に入ってもらえると思うわ。
I'm sure you'll like it. We do like it, Lady Burncastle.
何よあの駒。
Lady Lambadelta, you graced me with your presence. What's with that piece?
誰よあいつ何者よ。
Who was that person? Who was it?
名乗らないなんてずるいわよ。
She didn't say her name. That's mean.
ねえ、あんたもそう思うでしょ。
Hey, don't you think so too?
わらわは大体察しはついてる。
I have a general idea.
というか、
Or
わ
rather,
かるであろう。
I imagine most people would figure it out. Yeah, I think everyone would figure it out.
普通？
Most people?
わかんないわよ。初登場のキャラでしょ。
Well, I don't get it. And it was that character's first appearance, wasn't it?
名乗らなかったら、私もプレイヤーもみんなわかんないわよ。
If she doesn't say her name, I won't understand. The players won't understand. No one will understand, right?
ベアト、教えてあげなくていいわよ。
Betta, don't bother telling her.
ね、
See?
面白い子でしょ。
Isn't she a funny kid?
うん。
Indeed.
ラムダデルタ教の天使
Lady Lambadelta's innocent airhead side is truly precious and amusing. How dare you call my lady an airhead?
何よ えてくれないのよ。意地悪。
Come on, look what you told me. You're a meanie. I'm sorry, Lady London, but for the sake of the plot and the stream, I will refrain from spoilers.
じゃあ私だけが気づいたとっておきの秘密を特別に教えてあげるわ。
In exchange, I'll teach you a special secret that only I know.
だから教え
So tell me.
ほう
Oh,
とっておきな秘
a
密と
special
は
secret, you say?
聞きたいぞ
I
聞
want
き
to
たいぞ
hear. I want to hear.
なさいよ。だ
There.
教えてほしかったら先にあの女の正体を教えるのよ。
If you want me to tell you, first tell me who that girl really was.
私の知った秘密は
The
す
secret
ごい
I
わよ。
know sure is awesome.
何しろサンタさんの正体が実はお父さんだったってくらいすごいんだから。
After all, it's about as awesome as knowing that Santa-san is actually Daddy.
あら。
Huh?
言っちゃった。ごめんなさい
I
ね。
said
電池がひっくり返るくらいびっくりしちゃったでしょ。
it! Sorry, I bet you're so shocked that it turned your world upside down, right?
ラムダのとこにはお父さんが来てたの？
So, your father was the one who came to your place, Lambda?
来てたのってどういう意味よ。
He came? Wait, what do you mean, Wait, knowing the supposedly history of these two, this conversation is cruel and funny.
サンタクロース教は心の綺麗な子供のところへしか訪れないの。
Lord Santa Claus only visits at homes of children with pure hearts.
あんたのとこには来なかったのね。
I guess he didn't come to your place, did he?
まあ
Well,
Santa Claus
Lord
教は
Santa Claus is
寛大であるからな。
gracious.
よっぽどの
Unless
大悪
you're
党で
a
もない限り
really
プレゼントを
bad
恵んでくださる
scoundrel, he'll give you a present.
何しろわらわにも
Not
く
at
れ
all.
たくらいだか
He
ら
even gave them to me.
成長して心
And
が
as, you're,
すさんでくる
as
と
you
来
grow
なくなる
and
の
your heart is hardened, he stops coming, doesn't he?
レアタのとこにはいくつくらいまで来てた
How
の？
old were you? Betta. He stopped coming.
うん
Indeed.
12
He
歳く
kept
らいま
coming
で
until
は
I
来
was
てお
about
った
12.
乙女心に目
When
覚
my
めると
maiden's heart
急に
awoke,
サンタ教が
I
来るの
quickly
が
got
なんだか
somewhat
恥ずかし
embarrassed
くなる
about Lord Santa coming.
これまでありがとうござい
After
ま
I
し
wrote,
た
thank you for
Oh,
everything,
yes.
that's enough.
だから最
To
後の
make
プ
sure
レ
to
ゼン
splurge
トは
on
奮
the,
発してください
on the last
手
set
紙
of
を置いたら
presents. He
そうだ
stopped coming.
うん
Oh,
ちょっ
and I
と
was
期待
looking
したの
forward
だ
to
け
it
ど
too.
ベルンカステル教は
How old were
い
you
つ
when
くらい
he
まで
stopped
来てるの
coming?
か
Lady Burncastle.
私すさんでたし
That was pretty wild.
結構早かったっけ？
It happened fairly early.
確か9歳頃ね。
I think when I was about 9.
なんかあのヒゲが無性にムカついてちょん切ってやろうと
Something
布団の中で
about
裁
that
縫バサミ
beard
構えて待って
really irritated me. So I waited in my futon with some sewing scissors, ready to try to cut it off.
た。痛いお年頃よね。
What a painful age.
でラムダデルタ教には
As
物
far
心つい
back
て
as
から
Lady
サンタ
Lambda
クロー
Delta
ス
can
教がおい
remember,
でになったことがない
Lord Santa Claus never came to see her? Huh.
普通は
He usually comes
小学
until
校
last
高
year of
学年
elementary
から
school
中
or
学校く
during
らいま
middle
での
school.
間までは来るものであるぞ
ある意味お医者で見てもらった方がいいわ。
Maybe you should take her to a doctor.
早熟すぎると心身の成長に悪影響があるらしいから。
Being too cautious can have negative side effects on your growth of mind and body.
ああ、確かに出てるわね。
You definitely can see some of those. Yeah, especially in you.
悪影響。
Those negative side effects.
何の話をしてるのよあんたたちは。
Hey, what are you people talking about? Don't you dare laugh at my lady.
魔
It
女も
truly
3
is
人集まれば
boisterous
実に
when
かし
three
ましい
witches gather.
この程度のレベルの秘密じゃ聞く価値もなさ
If
そう
you're
ね。
talking about a secret on that level, I know it would be worth listening to.
私もう行ってもいい？
Can I go now?
次のゲームの準備をしなくちゃなら
I
ない。
have to get ready for the next game.
ちょっと待ちなさいよ。
What? Hey, wait a sec.
あの女の正体を教えなさいよ。
Tell me what that woman really wants.
じゃあ、あなたのとっておきの秘密を先に教えなさいよ。
Tell me the special secret of yours first.
見合うものだったら教えてあげる。
If it's good enough, then I'll tell you.
いいわよ。教えてあげるわ。
Okay,
とっておきの秘密なんだから。
I'll tell you because it's a really special secret.
今回のゲームで黄金を見つけて
Remember,
新しい魔女になった子がいたでしょ。
in this game, there was a girl who found the gold and became the new witch, right?
うん。
Indeed.
あやつに一体どんな秘
And
密
just
があ
what
るという
kind of secret might that person have?
あの子の正体にね、私気づいちゃったの。
I figure out who that girl really is.
みんなにはわかるかしら。
Does anyone know?
ヒントはね、喋り方にあったのよ。
There's a hint in the way she talked.
ほら、あの子よく口にしてたでしょ。
Remember? That girl said it a lot, didn't she?
なんとかしちゃえば。
If only you just blah. Right?
そう、この語尾がポイントだったのよ。
Yes, that phrase is the key point.
エーバー、
If only, if only,
エーバー。
if only.
そう、
Yes.
あいつの正体は
She
後
was.
ろ宮エヴァだったのよ。
She was actually Ushime Eva.
と、
What do you think?
驚いちゃったかしら。
Are you shocked?
ほう。
Oh,
それは気づかなか
never
った。
noticed that.
うん
Hmm.
そのよう
I
な
don't
とこ
think
ろ
that there would
に
be
ヒントが
a
あった
hint in a
と
place like that.
ベアトって付き合いがいいのね。
You're a real good sport, Beto.
その子、増
This
長する
kid
からほ
tends
ど
to
ほど
get
に
full
なさい
of
よ。
herself. So try not to overdo it.
じゃあね、私は席を外すわ。
See you. I'm leaving.
ちょっと。
Wait, wait!
私の秘密だけ聞いて、あんたは喋んないなんてずるいわよ。
If you just looked at my secret and don't tell me yours,
あんたもあの女の正体を話しなさいよ。
tell me who she was really. Who she really was.
あんたの秘密がすごすぎて釣り合わないわ。
Your secret was so amazing that mine just wouldn't match up.
じゃあ代わりに私もとっておきの秘密を教えてあげ
So
る
in
わ。
exchange, I'll teach you a special secret.
日暮らしの泣く頃にってゲームの犯人の名前を教えてあげる。
I'll tell you the name of the culprit in the game called Hikarashi no Nakukoro ni.
言わないで。
Ah, don't say it! Don't say it! Don't say it! Don't say it!
私今プレイしてると
I'm
こな
still
の。
playing it! Well, I just finished it the other day, Lady Lambda Delta.
じゃあね、ベアト。
See you, Beto. I can tell you who it is, Lady Lambda Delta. You probably already know though, because you're kind of in it. Yes, you are, or you aren't. It's kind of complicated.
紅茶美味しかったわ。
The black tea was delicious.
あと、お茶菓子のクラッカーだけど、
The
Jam and
repertoire of
repertory
jam on the
が足りないわ。
crackers was lacking.
たまにはコチュジャンでも用意しなさい。
Add some gochujang chili paste every once in a while.
ロシアンティーにもぴっ
It
たり。
goes great with Russian tea.
じゃあね。
Later.
そうか、わかっ
Oh, I see.
た。試してみよう。
I shall try it.
次のゲームの準備が
I'll
整ったら
call for some after prepare in the next game.
それまでゆっくり
Until
戦
then,
略でも練るがいい。
Feel free to polish up your strategy at your leisure.
ええ、そうするわ。
Yes, I'll do that.
今回のゲームはなかなか面
This
白かっ
last
た。
game was pretty interesting.
じゃあね。
Later.
ちょっと待ちなさいよ。教えなさいよ。
Hey, hey, wait a sec. Tell me. I love the little slight her eyes looking at Lambda like, why do I love this idiot?
いやいや、本当にお二人は仲が良い。
My, you two really are close.
ええ、そうよ。
Yes, that's right.
大好きよ、ベルンカステル。
I really like you, Baron Castle. But she used Daisuke, so,
愛してるとさえ言ってもいいわ。
you could even say, I love you, Lady Baron Castle.
あの瞳をえぐり出して、私以外を映さな
I
いよ
want
う
to
にしてや
gorge
りた
out
い。
your eyes so that you can see no one other than me.
それは本当に素敵よね。
Oh, that would be so wonderful.
紅茶に沈めても素敵かもし
It'd
れ
be
ない。
great to get drunk on them. Be great to dunk them in black tea. Aww, my lady has her way with words.
ラムダデルタ教をここまで夢中にさせるとは。
To think that you'd be so entranced, Lady Lambda Delta.
わらわも責任重大であるな。
Yes, someone like her and Baron Castle had known each other even before they became witches. I have a serious responsibility.
しかし今回は
Still,
実
the
に
last
惜し
game
かっ
really
た。
was close.
あと一息で
I
バ
was
ト
a
ラーを
breath
コロリ
away
と
from
いけた
getting
もの。
back to left.
ベアト、
Beto,
一個聞いていい？
can I say something? Can I ask you something?
なんであるか？
What is it?
あの女の名前は教
I
え
won't
ぬ。
tell you that girl's name.
いつまでチャラけてんのよ。
Oh, fuck. When are you gonna stop fooling around?
あんた勝つ気あんの？
Are you even trying to win? Lambda Delta threatened her with a low voice that she had never heard used in front of Burn Castle. It completely blew away the calm atmosphere that had been there until a moment ago.
私はね、
You know,
ベルンカステルに勝てる魔女ってことで、あんたに肩入れしてんの。
I am supporting you because you're supposed to be a witch who can win against Burn Castle.
あんたにベルンカステルに勝てる力がないってんなら、
If you don't have the power to win against
い
her,
つだって私はあんたなんか見捨てる
then
んだ。
I'll abandon you right away, okay? Oh,
これは手厳しい。
first of you.
わらわの何が
What
ボル
about me to satisfice you?
今日もご存知
As you know,
に。わ
my
らわの
game
算は
board is
完
perfect.
璧だ。ベルンカステル教には
Lady Burn Castle will never be able to win. Are you sure about that?
ええ、そうよ。
Yes, that's right.
あんたのゲーム版は実に
Your
見事
board truly is impressive.
ベルンカステルが
It
100年
truly
はおる
is an impressive and perfect game board that Burn Castle definitely won't be able to win in. Not even after 100 years.
1000年を費やそうとも絶対に勝つことが
Or
できる
even
実
1,000
に見
years.
事な完璧なゲーム版よ。だから私はそれを借りることの
That's
機
why
会に
I made you a witch in exchange for letting me borrow it.
私があんたが後見人をやめればあんたはすぐに人間に逆
If
に
I stop being your guardian, you'll immediately go back to being a human.
どんなにすごい魔力を持って
Make sure you don't forget
あんた
that.
は仮初めの魔女でし
No
か
matter
ない
how much incredible magical power
決し
you
て忘れ
hold,
ないことよ。
you are nothing more than a temporary witch. I understand.
そなたには
I am grateful to you.
タメ口聞かないでよ。
Don't speak so casually to me.
ベルンカステルがいるときは許すけど、いないときは許さない
I'll
わ。
forgive you. I'll forgive that when Burn Castle's around, but not when she isn't.
あんた最近
I'll bet you start to forget how much you owe me.
そんなことは
That is, not so.
やっぱ気持ち悪いわ。
You really are disgusting.
いつもの喋り方でいい。
Go ahead. Talk the way you usually do.
でも口の聞き方には
But be
注意して
mindful of what you say.
私案外
Have a surprisingly short temper, you see. Indeed.
話を戻すわ
Let's get back to what we were discussing.
あんたのゲーム
Your
は
game
実
board
に
truly is perfect.
ベルンカステルを容易
You
に
should be able to
攻撃でき
defeat
るでしょ
Burning Castle without any trouble.
しかしあの子は簡単に屈
But
服し
that kid won't surrender easily.
何度でも挑んでく
She'll
るわ
challenge you over and over.
問題はない
That's no problem.
ラムダデルタ教のお墨付きではないか
It has been certified by you, Lady Lambda Delta.
わらわのゲーム版
My game board is perfect.
そうよ
Yeah,
完
that's
璧よ
right. It's perfect.
プレイヤーである
But
あんた
but are you, the player, perfect as well?
それは
What do you mean by that?
どういう意味
What do I mean?
私が聞きたいくらい
That's what I want to hear.
あんたのゲームに
You
は
play
遊びが多い
around a lot in your games.
それは時にベルンカステルを
Sometimes
煙に巻くから
this ends up
あんたなり
confusing
の
Burn
策略なんだ
Castle.
と私も最初は思
So
っ
at first I thought it was some special strategy of yours.
たでもなんだか違う気がするの
I get the feeling that's not quite true.
あんた
Rather
勝
than
てる試合
toying
を
with
手
the
遊んでるんじゃなく
opponent
て
in a way, in a match that you can win,
勝っても負けてもどうでもいい
you
って思
don't
ってるん
actually
じゃ
care
ない
whether you win or lose, right?
バカバカしい
Ridiculous.
そんなことある
How
わ
could
けな
that be?
かろうが
いいこと
You know what?
あんたの役目は
Your
ベルンカステル
role
を
is
屈
to
服
make
させる
Burn
ことよ
Castle surrender.
つまりゲームに永遠に勝者でいること
In other words, that means being the victor in this game for all eternity.
あなたが絶対の勝者であり続けようとする限り
As long as you keep trying to become the victor
あ
with
なたに力
certainty,
を与えるわ
then I'll give you my power as to which a certainty.
でも
However,
もしあなたが
if you fight in a way that doesn't eliminate any possibility of your loss,
話は変わるわよ
that's a different story.
もちろん
Of
これ
course,
はゲームである
this is a game.
わらわが勝てば
Just as
ベ
Lee
ルン
Burn
カステ
Castle
ル教が
lose
負け
when
る
I win.
向こうが勝てば
I will sometimes lose
わら
when
わ
she
が負ける
wins.
日もあるだろう常に
The
敗北の
possibility
可
of
能
loss
性はあ
always
り得る
exists.
だからこそ
Therefore,
わらわは
I will.
だからあんたは使えない
This is why you're useless.
あんたはゲーム版である必要なん
There's
か
no
ない
need for you to be a game board.
ベルンカステル
You just had to be a bird cage that can lock Burn Castle up here for all eternity.
鳥かごの役目は
And that's the role of a bird cage.
中の小鳥を絶対に
Making
逃がさ
certain
ないこ
the
と
little bird inside never escapes.
たまに抜け出せてしまうような隙間のある鳥
What's
か
the
ご
bird
に
cage
何
worth
の価
if
値
it
が
has cracks that sometimes let a bird out?
無論
Of course,
ゲームを
games
勝つために
exist for the purpose of winning.
そしてわらわが
And
負
if
ける
it's impossible for me to lose,
ゆえにわらわは
therefore I will continue to win
お望み通り
as you wish for all eternity.
いい返事
Good
そ
answer.
れでいい
That'll be fine.
策略としての遊びやフェイク
I'll
は
allow you to play around and use fakes as part of your tactics.
今回有効だったところもある
It
しね
ended up being useful during parts of this round.
でもね
But you know what?
もしあなたが勝ち以
If
外
you
の
make a
望みよう
move
とさして
hoping
を
for
して
anything else other than a victory,
その時は素敵な覚悟をな
make
さ
sure
い
you're prepared for something amazing, okay?
そのようなこと
I
は
will
せ
do
ん
no such a thing.
スカウト
I swear it.
もともと魔女ですらないあんたが
Because
ど
originally
んなに素晴らしい存
you
在
weren't even a witch at any time.
いつだって思い出させてあげるんだ
At any time, I'll remind you what a truly shabby creature you were.
私の期待を裏切っ
If
た
you betray my expectations, that is.
その時は
As soon as you do, you can look forward to a fun punishment game. A punishment game? A punishment game? Lady Lambda Delta is mentioning a punishment game? I wonder what that punishment could be. I wonder.
100億のかけら世界の中から最も惨めなかけらにあんたを送り込んで封印してあげる
In the world of billions of fragments, I'll send you to the most miserable one and seal you there.
あんたはもともとが惨めだから惨めな
You're already miserable to start with. But there's gonna be some really miserable fragments out there for the picking. Come on, Betos, keep a straight face. Don't lie to your supporter. She's fading away.
愛してる
Oh,
喧嘩してる
I love you, Burn Castle. Wait, did she use Astrio? Astilo? Isn't that like the deep commitment word for love?
ベアトリーチェの鳥かごで好きなだけあがいて
Struggle in Beatrice Bird Cage as much as you like.
もう逃れられないことを1000年かけて知りなさい
Over the course of 1,000 years, realize that you can no longer escape.
そしてあなたが屈服したら
And when you surrender,
私の手のひらでしかなけ
I'll
ない
train you so that you can't do anything other than cry in the palm of my hand. Someone's being a little yandere, Ray Ray. That's fine. They're just a cute couple. This is how they flirt. They're playing with other people's lives and souls. And I was blessed for the grand image of Lady Lambda Delta looking at me like that. A bilingual HD version. Cool. Thanks to the dozens. Okay, we can look at the question mark on one now. Alright, what's this one gonna be? 12 years later. The heck? The heck? October 4th, 1998. A monotonous, I can't say that word. Electric sound kept on repeating. The room was colored with hygienic tones. In other words, an emotionless white. It was a room at a certain university hospital. Neither her doctors nor the person herself had any doubts that this room, which had a price so high that no commoner could afford to spend a single night there, would be the last room she ever saw. Was the person on the bed Ava? Even if someone told you that it was so, she was unbelievably aged and worn out. The well-built man in a suit waiting in the corner near the door was having a whisper conversation through an intercom with someone outside. He was a guard protecting Ava's person. After telling the person on the other end of the intercom to wait, he approached Ava's bed. Ava has been awake for a short while. However, she stared at a single point in an empty space, as though her mind was not in the same place. Enji-san has arrived in the lobby below. Should we let her pass? For a long time, Ava didn't answer. However, bit by bit, her eyes began to regain their focus, and she gave a small nod, indicating that she didn't mind if they called Enji. it had been Ava who called her. And she was right on time. By this point, Ava would refuse anyone who wanted a meeting without an appointment. The room was dark, even though it was still light outside, because the curtains were always closed. There was always one guard waiting in the room, and 3 more waiting in the corridor and the lobby. They were all there to protect Ava's person. Eventually, there was a sound of a knock. Also, there was a message from the intercom that the guest's body check had been completed with no problems. The door was unlocked, then opened, and a high school-aged girl was standing there.
会長、
Shama,
エンジさんがいらっしゃいました。
Anji-san has arrived. Ava reacted and turned her face towards her guest. However, instead of reacting to the guard's call, maybe it would be better to say that she reacted to the smell of Angie's makeup. After being shut up in this room for so long, Ava was stiff to even small changes in smell. So, oh, she sounds so old now. Well, not old, but older. So you came?
エンジ。
来たわ。
I came.
呼ばれたから。
You did call me. On Ava's face, there was no trace of a person warmly welcoming their niece. And on Angie's face, you couldn't see the expression of one pleased to meet with their aunt. Ava waved her arm, which had grown as thin as a withered branch, and motioned for the guard to leave. The guard bowed silently and went out into the hall.
暗い上に空気もひど
It's
いわ
not only stuffy, but dark too.
カーテンでも開けたら
Can I open the curtains?
そうすると、あんたの依頼
Is
し
your
た
plan
殺し
for
屋
that
が窓
man
越し
you
に撃
hired
って
to
くる
shoot
って
me
寸
through
法
the
なの
window?
かしら。
あんたの暗殺依頼な
I
ら
wish I could
私も
hire
受
an
けたい
assassin. I wish I could get hired to assassinate you.
家でのんびり
All I have to
ほん
do
の
is
一
relax
月
at
も過
home
ごし
for
て
a
れば
month. The
勝
job
手
would
に
take
任
care
務
of
が終わるも
itself.
の
Their discussion was quite morbid for an aunt and niece. However, they didn't look like they were joking. At the very least, Ava believed that somewhere, someone was after her life. All the Ushimiya family's massive fortune had come into the possession of Ushimiya Ava. It was said that this fortune also included the 10 tons of hidden gold that Ushimiya Kinzo was rumored to have hidden. While this vast wealth lay in Ava's cunning, sly, and suspicious hands, no one was able to complain. But it was rumored that as soon as it was passed on to Anji, who was no more than a young girl, certain people were plotting to snatch it away. By now, Ava and Anji were Kinzo's only descendants. If Ava died, all the wealth would go to Anji. And if Anji were to be killed as well, that wealth would go to the family of Anji's mother, Kirie. In this sense, not only Ava, but Anji as well, were in a position where it wouldn't be odd at all for their life to be targeted by some unknown person. And Ava had hated Anji for a long time. This was because she knew that, after losing her only precious son, George, the inheritor of her own wealth would be none other than the girl who had been absent at that family conference 12 years ago, and who had survived. Ava had shunned Anji, disliked her, and even hated her. She isolated Anji in a special school and separated her from the youth and happiness normal people have, trying to keep her as a pet until death. However, Ava had succumbed to an incurable illness, and, ironically, Her remaining life was estimated to be the same as Kinzo's had been at a family conference 12 years ago. Both Ava and Angie hated each other. Even though they were each other's last blood relatives, they hated each other so much that they hoped the other would die quickly.
それで
And
わざわざ呼びつけて
why'd
何
you go to all the trouble of calling for me?
私はもう長くない。
I don't have much time left.
やぶ医者ども。
These
未だに
black
私がもら
doctors
え
still
た毒が
can't
何
detect
かも
any of the
検出
poison
できない。
that's filling me up.
わかってるの。
I know.
きっと某国
I'm
の情
sure
報機関で
it's
使わ
some
れて
secret
た
assassination
秘
drug
密の暗殺薬なのよ。
used by those Soviet HVPs.
あ
Uh,
私は殺されるのよ。
be
殺
killed.
されるのよ。
I'm gonna be killed.
かわいそうな人
What a pitiful person. This has always happened. They immediately deviated from the main topic, distorting into a more unsettling discussion. Ava, who was absolutely paranoid, believed that someone was always after her life. In actual fact, after inheriting the vast wealth of the Ushimiya family, she had used wild methods just like Kenzo had done in the past, repeatedly making money by any means necessary and create many enemies along the way. With a massive supply of capital, she had plotted to aggressively buy businesses that were starting to have rapid growth, making them buy it back at a high price under the guise of reconciliation. Ironically, it was the same type of action that her husband's company had been hit with 12 years ago. She had repeated this constantly for 12 years. She had also earned a lot of hatred. If her husband had heard of this from beyond the grave, he might have defended her, saying that the loneliness from losing her family fueled her actions. However, of all the people who knew her now, none would defend her. For some time, Ava eloquently spoke of how her life was being targeted, listing off names of people who hated her, and sneering at the fact that she still hadn't been killed, even though Angie heard her own name included in that list. There was no particular change in her expression, and she waited indifferently for Ava to tire herself out.
私はね、
You see,
憎いのよ。
I really hate you.
光栄ね
I'm honored.
私もよ
Same here.
ジョージのために築いた未来だった。
I built this future for Georgie's sake.
それをあんたにかすめ
To
取ら
think
れ
it
る
would
なんて。
be snatched away by you.
ルドルフの娘に
To
奪
think
わ
it
れ
would
る
be
なん
stolen
て。
away by Rudolph's daughter.
私は悔しい。
I can't bear it.
子も残せず。
I can't bear it to think that I would have my fortune stolen away.
財産すらも奪わ
But
れるな
even
んて。
leave behind a child.
それが私には
That
許せない。
I cannot forgive.
だったら財産全部
Miley,
お布施にでも
if
しちゃえ
only you
ば
just give all your fortune to charity.
お百度踏んでた宗教
What
系の連
about
中
all
は
those
どうした
religious
の
people you used to go so far out of your way to find?
連中はみんな
They
言う
all
の
say
よ。
the same thing.
多すぎる
My
財
excessive
産が
wealth
私
have
の負担に
become
な
a
ってる
burden
って
to me.
決まって
And they always
Look at
say
us,
something
get the
about how I
cute
need to
little
give it up
steel
and
guard to
cleanse
be
myself.
us.
Yeah, she ain't gonna do that.
それで思いついたの
Then I
よ。
thought of something.
寄付はやめたわ。
I stopped donating. For a time, Ava searched for the founders of several strange and new religious cults, perhaps seeking peace in her heart. But they gave her heart no relief. And if anything, they ended up increasing her paranoia further.
お金が余ってるなら
If you have
サラ
too
ブレ
much
ッド買い
money,
占めて
why don't you
コンビーフ
start
でも作れ
buying
ば
up thoroughbreds and make some corned beef?
それよりもっと面
I
白い
thought
ことを
something
思い
even
つい
more
たのよ
interesting.
いろいろ悩んだ
I worried over it a lot.
どうやればあな
What
たを
could I
ひ
do
ど
to
い
make
目に
things
遭わせられる
horrible
か
for
を
you?
殺してしまおうと
I
も
thought
思っ
about
た
killing you.
あるいは
I
全て
also
の
thought
財
about
産を
erasing
消し
all
去
my
り
wealth,
あな
leaving
た
you
を無一
penniless,
文にして
and
後ろ
selling
の
you
家
off
か
to
ら
a
叩き
slave
出してやろう
trader
かと
or
も思ったわ
something.
素敵でしょ
Wouldn't that be wonderful?
お上品に育て
You
られ
have
た
your
ご
arms
令
and
嬢が
legs chopped
腐
off
った
and
パ
be
ンや
forced
泥
to
水
take
を這いつくばった
customers
朝
until
に
you
回るの
died.
よああそれ
Ah,
も
that'd
実
be
に素
so
敵だ
wonderful. Oh, she had the witch cackle.
楽しい
Is this fun for you?
楽しいわ
Oh, yes, it is.
あなたを怯え
It's
させ
fun
る
to
のは
scare
ね
you,
でももう
but
じ
very
き
soon
私は
I
死ぬ
will die.
だから
So I
私が
thought
死
about
んだ
how I
後
might
もど
continue
う
to
やってあな
cause
た
you
を苦
pain
しま
even
せ続けるか
after
考
my
えた
death.
のそ
And
したら
then
案外単
it
純
was
なことだったわ
surprisingly simple.
それをあなたに
I
話
call
し
you
たくて
because
呼
I
んだ
want
の
to talk about it.
そろそろ中間近
I
い
have
んだけど
midterms coming up.
手短にね
Keep it brief.
あなた
I have decided
すべての財
I
産
will
を
have you
相
inherit
続する
all
こ
of
と
my
にした
fortune.
わ
Uh-huh.
へえ
Oh.
それどころ
Not only that,
私が死
but
ぬ
I
最
decided
後
that
の
until
一
the
日まで
very day I
ど
die,
こまでも財産
I'll
を
spend
増や
that
し
fortune as
て
much as I
膨れ
can,
に膨らま
inflating
せてあ
it
な
to
たに
massive
相続するこ
proportions
とにした
before
の
having
よ
you inherit all of it.
それ
Can
が
you
どういう
even imagine
想像
what
が
that
つく
would
か
be
し
like?
わかんないわ
I don't get it.
バカだから
Because it's stupid. That's
らわ
right.
かんない
You
でしょう
don't
ね
get it, do you?
楽しみにしてな
Look
さい
forward to it. It really is
本当に
fun
楽しい
being
わ
rich.
よお金持ちは毎日
Every
日本
day,
人の
yokai
妖怪
from
が
across
朝から晩
Japan
まで遊び
come
に
to
来るわ
play.
よあんたの私生活は
From now
こ
on,
れからは全
your
て
entire
ワ
life
イ
will
ド
be
ショーと
followed
週
by
刊
talk
誌が
shows
覗き見して
and
くれ
weekly
るわ
magazines.
何をして
The
も
media
し
will
なくても
criticize me no matter what I do or
私を
don't
批判する
do.
施せ
If
ば
I
文章
donate,
は
they'll
だけ
attack me
叩
for
かれ
being
渋れば
boisterous.
主
And
戦度だと
if I
罵
hesitate,
られる
they'll abuse me as a miser.
ああ
Oh, every day really is wonderful. You see,
そんな日々
I decided it'd be
若く
great
て先の
to
長
let
い
you have that kind of
ぜ
life
ひ招待
when
し
you're
てあ
so
げよう
young
と
and
思い
have
つ
so
い
much
た
ahead of you.
本当に
Doesn't
素
that
敵
sound
でした
absolutely wonderful?
あんたのしてきたことに対する
Looks like the
世間
public's
の正
opinion
当
all
な
you
評価でし
have,
ょ
all you've done was spot on.
そう
Too
ね
true.
そうでし
Yes,
ょう
that is too true.
いいわ
Go ahead.
好きなだけ
Abuse me as
私を
much as you
罵ると
want.
いいわ
Soon, you'll face that same criticism.
製品が全部
Japanese culture
金持
dictates
ちは
that
死
good
ねと
people
いう
live
のが日
in
本の文化
honorable poverty, while the wealthy should just die.
あんたはや
No
がて
matter what
何
you
をして
do
も
or
し
do
な
not
くて
do,
も日
you will
本中から
eventually be
妬み
lifted
と
up
恨みの
as a
象徴
symbol
に
of
祭り上
envy
げられ
and
てい
hate
く
across Japan. Why, Ava? Why?
そんな生活の中
I
で生き
wonder
て
how twisted your life will become after living that way.
あんたの
You
味方
have no
は
allies,
あんたの悩み
no
な
one to
ど
listen to
誰
your
も聞け
worries.
ないあなたを
Abusing you will become a
公
public
然
sport,
としたスポーツになるそして
and
そ
no
れを
one
誰
can
も
stop
止めない
that.
ああ
Oh, Angie.
私
I'm really looking forward to it. She sounds like she's crying, not happy. I wonder how you'll live your life and how you'll end it. Enjoy the fullest life of being unable to trust anyone in the world, being unable to love anyone, being unable to talk with anyone. I'll be patiently waiting for you to take that story of hardship down with you into hell. She about to croak, she about to croak. And her insane laughter turned into a painful cough. Without changing her expression in the slightest, looking completely unconcerned. Angie stared at the only survivor, Orokunejima. Perhaps because he found the violent coughing suspicious, the guard gave a short knock on the door and rushed in at the same time. Angie glared at him wordlessly, making it clear that she didn't intend to move a step from where she was. Angie was prepared for some kind of trap to frame her in Ava's death. However, that was fortunately a needless fear. As the guard rubbed Ava's back, he poured hot water from a thermos into a mug. As he did, Ava kept coughing, apparently in pain. Angie figured that this was probably the last she'd seen of Rokujima's witch's final days. Eventually, the coughing subsided, and Ava regained her normal breathing. However, the glittering madness inside her eyes hadn't subsided in the slightest. No, I will give it to you. That cursed mass of gold in the Ushimiya family headship, as well as the name of the Golden Witch, Beatrice. Enjoy the insane, twisted rest of your life, fitting for the name of the witch. I don't need that. More importantly, tell me, on that day, what happened at Orokunejima? I don't believe it was an accident. Tell me the truth about what happened that day, and why father and mother and Nissan died. Yes. That is the best way I have to harass you, isn't it? What happened on that day? What happened on the day? This day in 1986. You want to know what they said before they died, right? I won't tell you. I'll leave behind the cursed gold. But you know what? I'll take the trip you seek with me to hell. That's the best I can torment you. Are you mad? If you want to hear it so much, try going to hell and asking your family there. In that case, you better die right now, right? If only you just give up and die right now. That laugh continued until she started coughing again. And that cough did not subside until she started moaning and going into convulsions. What happened? October 4th, 1986. on Rokonjima, the Yoshimiya family's customary and final family conference was held. And on the next day, October 5th, an extremely unfortunate accident occurred and the Ushimiya family was wiped out. Fortunately, Ushimiya Eva escaped from that and inherited almost all the Ushimiya family fortune. However, due to the many turbulent rumors surrounding the Ushimiya family, the way Eva acted afterwards, and her unnatural actions at the time of the unfortunate accident, the public was in uproar over whether this might have been a conspiracy to get all of the inheritance herself. Under pressure from the public, prosecutors repeatedly tried to investigate the matter, and the media began tracing the outline of a conspiracy they called the Rokonjima suspicion. But in the end, they weren't even able to find proof that this unfortunate accident was a crime. However, because the media continued to give the impression that the Rokonjima suspicion was a conspiracy of Eva's, public opinion began to believe that she was the true culprit. Of course, that was also influenced by the bad impression caused by the all but easily condemnable overbearing financial activity, which she had carried out using that vast wealth. Every time she did something and the rumors started spreading, the media would bring back the Rokonjima suspicion, blaming the criminal justice system by saying that she was the true culprit, and that the only reason she hadn't been arrested was because even the police had been bribed. So, the impression that she was a great villain grew stronger and stronger. Her heart eventually degraded. And ironically, it began to transfigure her into the kind of human the public expected. By now, Eva had no one she could trust, and no family. After her beloved husband passed away, the talk shows occasionally mentioned his company, saying that it was a run recklessly, while criticizing and disgracing its former accomplishments. Even her beloved son, Georgie, was dramatized as the stereotypical rich, lazy son that the public expected, and no one even wanted to know what simple and honest character he had possessed. As to how much all this hurt Eva and ran her to ruin, no one cared. The public was only interested out of curiosity about how a super rich evil woman who killed her whole family lived her pitiful later years. So that happened more and more, and eventually, Eva's personality was transfigured until people started calling her a lunatic. It was said that this sometimes reminded her of her father, who she had once admired in his later years, and that she laughed at herself with scorn. And on the day of the final family conference, because Ushimiya Rudolph's daughter Anji had been sick and to stay with her mother's family, she had not participated. At the age of 6, she lost her family and had gained Eva as her guardian. Since Anji had been Eva's only blood relative, Eva took very good care of her. She had imposing guards surrounding Anji's person at all times to prevent her from coming to harm. Anji had even her right to play with friends, to come home from school together and enjoy the season together, stolen away. So that she can live a full and pleasant school life, Eva sent Anji to an elegant boarding school that took care of her every need, completely isolating her from the world. She didn't even know the popular songs of the girls her age might come. She was never given a chance to enjoy window shopping with her friends or stuffing her mouth with crepes, much less an encounter with a member of the opposite sex to make her heart throb. Well, we know about Anji is probably not. Never mind. Anji did not have a single friend. If anyone carelessly acted friendly with Anji, they would be scolded by the guards or else the teachers. All of them were strictly ordered to not let shabby humans approach the daughter of the esteemed Ushimiya family. During that time, the talk shows were always mentioning Ushimiya Eva, always spreading rumors about her countless financial misdeeds. Those who knew her daughter was naturally beginning to keep their distance. Even now, she was called a witch at school anytime something bad happened, even if there was no proof of it. It would be whispered though, if were absolute truth, that she had imposed her will on the school staff. The environment makes the person. By now, she had a heart as wild as those around her feared. No one trusted her, so she never bothered to believe in anyone. No one loved her, so she never even tried to love. And when Ava caught an incurable illness on top of all this, it was whispered that this too was a conspiracy. And at this time, Anji was set up as the mastermind. Everyone whispered that the daughters of witches are witches too. Even the talk shows and weekly magazines whispered that. And so Anji also accepted it as though it was definitely. No. As though it was obviously true. Therefore, since she already believed that she was a witch, when she heard the name of the golden witch was being turned over to her, she only felt like saying, "You just figured it out now." However, she was at least sure of one thing. This title of witch that she had inherited would definitely never be inherited by anyone else. She would be the last head of the Ushimiya family and the last lonely golden witch. Where are we going? Where are we going? Where are we going? Where are we going? What's happening? Are we doing this scene already? Angie can be seen on the roof of a skyscraper. Compared to the winds of the world that had been beaten up. Compared to the winds of the world that had beaten down upon her until now, this strong, cold wind was warm and pleasant. Below her lay a beautiful nighttime scene, and a dazzling river of red and white lights. It was supposed to be clear at that night, so there really should have been countless stars stretching out over the sky. However, the light from the ground was too bright, so you couldn't see them all. Angie couldn't help but think that what she truly sought must lie in that unseen starlight. The world of reality below her looked so far away from here. She could imagine that this place was the closest to the world she really should be in. There was only one thing Angie cursed. Why had she not been able to go to that family conference on that day 12 years ago? Even though, if she had gone, it would probably have been impossible for her to stay with her family forever. Lately, she had been dreaming about her family over and over again. The person I was 12 years ago calls out frantically, urging them not to go to the family conference. But both Dad and Mom are too far away, and my hand won't reach them. Battler Nissan, always loved me a lot, and always pat my head. But even though it looked like that hand's about to touch me, even if it doesn't reach, for some reason, I start having that dream over and over. Every time I had that same dream, I usually try to stretch out my hands even more forcefully, over and over and over. If only back when Nissan had lived, then perhaps we'd at least be able to support each other in my cold and lonely reality. But his hand never reaches mine. Even when I climb to the roof of this tall building, I'm so far away from all of them. A mysterious girl appeared in my dreams and urges me. She urges me to find the truth of what happened 12 years ago. If only I could learn everything that happened to Father and the rest of them on that day. Would they come back? At least one of them. And there is no way that anyone would answer that question for her. I get it. In this world, I have no family or friends. So, let's go. Let's go home. To where my family is. Don't do it, Angie. Don't do it, Angie. From the start, Angie's figure had been on the other side of the fence. The scenery below her eyes was distant, beautiful, and so fantastical that it actually didn't give rise to fear. I looked down. I'll surely be swallowed up by the world below. So I looked up, because I wanted to be taken to the world above, the world where my family was. Who cares about vast wealth? Who cares about cursed gold? Who cares about the golden witch Beatrice? What I really want, even a mountain of gold couldn't get me. What I need for that is to take a single step forward. Just that little bit of courage. At that moment, I definitely heard a voice. It was a voice I knew. A voice that I heard. The voice that I had called to me in my dreams for so long. There she is! Before my eyes. In other words, in mid-air above that jet black nighttime scenery. There was a figure of the girl I seen in my dreams. She spoke again, with the same voice I heard in those dreams. Your assistance is required. My assistance? Who needs it? Your family needs it. Your family's been eternally imprisoned in the span from this day 12 years ago until the following day. If I save them, does that mean my family will come home? When I asked the question that I wanted to ask, when I asked the question I had most wanted to, the girl cruelly stopped talking and hung her head. And I cannot promise that. The enemy is the golden witch Beatrice, a mighty opponent. I cannot oppose her. But another golden witch might be able to manage something. I don't know what you're talking about.
1986年のベアトリーチェに太刀打ちできるのは
The only one who can oppose the Beatrice in 1986 is the final Beatrice of 1998.
つまりあなた
In other words, you. Angie.
Angie Beatrice.
Angie Beatrice.
12年前の魔女が
That witch from 12 years ago
私の家族を奪っ
took
たの。
away my family.
そう
That's right.
あなたの敵に
She is your foe.
あなたに常に
The root cause that always leads to your future of isolation.
私の
My
家族の
family's
敵。
foe.
見返り
In exchange,
あな
I
た
will
の
search
望む
for a
最
fragment
も理想
with
的
the
な世界
ideal world
家
that you
族
wish
に帰って
for.
くる世界のかけら
A
を
world
探し
where
て
your
あげる
family comes home.
でも必ず希
I
望
make
が
no
叶う
promises
と約
that
束は
your
でき
desire will be granted.
1986年のベアトリーチ
Beatrice
ェのゲー
Game
ム版は
Board in
あまりに完
1986
璧
is quite perfect.
今日の手土産に
I have
その理
planned
想
on
のか
bringing
け
you
ら
to
を
that
持参しよ
ideal
うとしたんだ
fragment
けれど
as a present
未だに
today,
見つけられないの
but I still can't find it.
かなりの強固な運命
This is a very firm fate.
ラムダデルタと
I
戦っ
haven't
た時
seen
以
the
来
likes of it since the time I fought Lambda Delta. Huh. This is a very firm fragment. So, the last time she fought Lambda Delta, it was from multiple fragments. This can be interpreted as any version of Higurashi, really.
何を言ってるのか
I don't know
わからない。
what you're talking about.
あなたに
I'm giving you a chance for revenge.
見返りにあなたが享受できる可能性の
And I
中
promise to search
最
for
も幸せな結末を探して持っ
the
てくる
happiest
ことを約
resolution
束
among
す
the
る
possibilities you're capable of accepting.
復讐
Revenge.
徒労になるかもしれない
It may be a fruitless effort.
仮に復讐を成し遂
Even
げら
if
れ
you
たとし
succeed
て
in
も
your revenge,
家族が
there's
帰
no
ってくる絶対の保証は
divine
ない
proof that your family will return.
奇跡的確率でせいぜい一人を
Even
連
if
れ
you
戻せる
manage
か
to
どうか
hit a miraculous probability, you may only be able to bring one person back, if that. Anji understood the meaning of that dream. The dream where it seemed that, with just a little more stretching, your hand might be able to reach at least Bachelor Nisa,
奇跡的な確率でも
a miraculous
そ
possibility.
れはゼロよりは
Means
高い
it's
の
still
よね。
higher than zero, right?
1% くらい。
It is 1%.
あらゆる可能性の数値を
Trying to read any probabilities before a result is useless.
だからその数字
So I cannot tell
を
you that
私に
number.
は語ることができない
でも私が何もしないより
But
は絶対に
that
わず
doesn't
かな
be
可能
slightly
性
more
がある。
likely if I do nothing.
え
Yes.
あなたが希望
How
を
long
捨
do
て
you
ない
not
か
throw that desire of yours away?
ただし覚悟
But
し
be prepared.
それは
It
限
is
り
extremely
なく全
close to zero.
いいわ。
Okay.
乗るわその
I'll
話。
take you up on that offer.
いいのね
Are you sure?
だ
Are you
も
sure?
う二度とここへは帰って
You
これない
probably
わ
won't be able to return here again.
ここは私のいるべき世界じゃないわ。そして
I'll find the world I'm supposed
私
to
の
be
いるべ
in.
き世界は
Myself.
あなたの名前を聞かせて。
Tell me your name.
奇跡の魔女
The Witch of
Beren
Miracles. Burn Castle.
そして
And by
我が
that
名
name,
においてあなたを黄金の魔女エンジェ・ベアトリーチェだと認める
I acknowledge you as the Golden Witch. Anji Beatrice.
今こそあなたは本当
As
の
of
魔
now,
女よ
you are a true witch. The instant she proclaimed that I was a witch, I felt dizzy, although something inside me had changed drastically. At that time, I heard a clunk. It was the sound of the door that opened to the staircase to the roof. It was Aunt Ava's guards. They're only guards in name. Aren't they the cage that wraps the ties around me, shutting me in? They saw that I was already on the other side of the fence and dashed forward horrified.
20マルタイ発見
20. We found the target.
屋上応
We're
援
going
元
back up on the roof.
援助さん
Anji-san,
探しましたよ
we were looking for you.
そこは危ないですか
It's dangerous there,
早くこ
so
ちらへ
quickly come this way.
何
What's that?
ファンクラブよ。
My fan club.
私
I'm
結構
pretty
モテる
popular.
の。
Oh, the song. No point getting caught. Let's go. Looking annoyed, Burn Castle turned on her heels. In the jet black sky, watching that perfectly casual gesture, I followed her as though it was completely normal.
エンジさん待ちなさい早まるな危ない
ああ、ダメね。
It's useless.
全然ダメ。
It's all useless.
じゃあまたね。See you again.
Well then, see you again next time.
迎えにはリムジンをよこして
Please send a limo to get me,
みんなも一緒だか
because everyone will be there too.
ら。じゃあね。
See you.
エンジさん
Oh, we finally get this image! The iconic IMG jumping over the moon, or in front of the moon. Ah, it is so beautiful. It's so... Oh, there we go. The final conclusion of chapter 3. Episode 3. Song is too. Oh, getting the actual names, the voice actors. Okay, I think we're it. I think that's all we have to do now. That's all we have to do for tonight. Or technically this morning. It's 12:22 where I live. So that's a very The heck was that? Why do you keep breaking dimensions in front of me? Addition of a new game board. The next episode lock has been removed. Addition of new features. You can find new features on the title screen. Alright, let's see what we have real quick. Ooh, that was cool. That was cool. It's episode 4. Unlock. I'll look at the tips real quick. We hit, let's see, Ushimiya Kinzo, the age head of the Ushimiya family, even though it had already been announced that we already know this stuff, so execute. Oh, that's so cool. Let's look at Anji's real quick. Ushimiya Anji, the daughter of Rudolph and Kirie, Battler's younger sister from a different mother. She hasn't come in contact with Battler often, but is extremely fond and respectful of him. She was sick and absent during the family conference, so she always ends up surviving in solitude. A very unfortunate girl whose heart is in tatters. Has a bad habit of always walking around with massive amounts of cash, throwing it out to whoever comes first. Oh, we can execute her. What about Battler? Shot to death by Ushimiya Eva inside the mansion. The weapon was a Winchester from Kinzo's collection. Jessica lost her eyesight alone with Battler. Wolves and sheep puzzle. What about Jessica? Missing. She certainly was joined with Kennen in the Golden Land. They both apologized for their own cowardice, communicating their true and honest feelings, and they hugged each other until their final moments. Afterwards, she was chewed to pieces by demons and went to hell. It was alright, Kennen is with her. What about Eva? Can't execute her. Beatrice? What a useless dream to try and kill me despite being a mere human. Fire bullets and they will merely reflect back towards you like light off a mirror. However, there does exist just one way to kill me. You hold that method in your palm of your hand, but I doubt one as mediocre as you could ever pull it off. Hey, that's rude. Technically, she died twice, so what does it say here? Okay, same thing is always said. Can you execute? You can't execute her. Virgilia! I now retire endless switch with Beatrice's teacher. We read all these, so let's look at the new ones. Angie Beatrice, the final witch born in 1998. She was named by Ava as her successor and was accepted with Castle as her guardian. She had to start from square one as a witch, but because she exists 12 years in the future, she possesses the ultimate sort of magical resistance, for none of Beatrice's magic can target her. Furthermore, in a manner opposite of her brother's magical resistance, she has a natural talent for attacks against anything of magical nature. She holds tremendous potential for both offense and defense. However, the distance is vast. 12 years is a long time. Now let's look at the main stars, my favorites. Castle. The Witch of Miracles has lived for 1,000 years. Her vast power is capable of creating all kinds of miracles, but her heart has broken as a bitter result. Back when she was a human, Lambda Delta once imprisoned her within a cruel fate, toying with her the whole time. As a result, it seems she's unable to abandon others who are caught within a similar fate. Theoretically, she is a witch with the greatest of powers, but in practice, this is no more realistic than folding a piece of paper 100 times so that it reaches the moon. Yes, she did fold it 100 times. And my lady, my guardian, my goddess, Lady Lambda Delta, the Witch of Certainty, has lived for 1,000 years. She embodies the idea that hard workers are rewarded and revised even by humans. Though she is a witch, she does not stray far from the concept of humans. For that reason, her power as one worshipped by humans is incalculable. However, she is fickle about whose efforts she chooses to reward, and in many cases, she bestows her favor upon those who are entertaining her the most. Her immense, swift, and terrifying power can make any witch surrender in an instant. However, she is often reckless, and Castle was able to take full advantage of that. I wonder if I execute. Okay, we can't execute any of the meta beings. That makes sense. Alright, guys. That was awesome! That was cool! That was episode 3 of Umineko. We finally finished it after 13 sessions. Tomorrow we're gonna finally start episode 4, the final episode of the question arcs. And if I remember, darn, I don't think I remember how it's episode 4. I know it's gonna be bad. The ending's gonna make us tear up. But then we get to the answer arcs next game, where we finally get to meet the Lady Erica, which will be a splendor sight. Okay, I got those 12:29. That'd be kind of loud, and I have a feeling I don't want to get in trouble. So I'm gonna go, guys. Thank you all for everyone who showed up. It was super fun. I know my visual novel streams don't get much attention, but I love this. It's fun for me. I like to do it. So, yeah. Okay. Love you all. I'll see you sometime tomorrow. Probably the same time. Probably at 9 or 10. I mean, 8 or 9. Okay. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.